be let's all hot drop and then see
Oh
what
my
happens.
yes!
On AG.AL, it's a little bit more prescribed, it's a little bit more thought out and measured.
FURIA!
Hopefully, our teams have figured out where they want to go and
Geeky!
conflict over zones, but already 3 teams out over Millie, as well as, well, maybe 4 teams out over military as RRQ jump out a little bit later.
Walaikum salam, walaikum salam, welcome, push Abadi.
And get to the
AG.AL!
maybe looking for that.
Welcome, 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 welcome.
On the west side.
Second map, Erangel. Oh yeah.
Comes towards you, have those military starts. Similar sort of opening as well for Goat, so no surprises.
Thor, welcome salam.
Split off and wrap
Walaikum
away.
salam, walaikum salam.
Rest of the squad's trying to get
Welcome,
distance
Khush
to those
Ahmadid.
parachutes.
Alaikum
They've got
assalam,
their training
rahmatullahi wa
down there,
barakatuh.
A5 guaranteed gliders.
Are you guys ready for some amazing reaction
They got the
on
legs
the
needed to get
team?
on their way. Yeah, Goat team also
Ooh la
dropping
la!
converted away from
Let's
Goat
go!
into those hot drops. Not a good idea, but that is a nasty circle. Goodness me, we were having some pretty nasty circles, very gnarly stuff coming through over in the group stages. Looks like we're going to continue that trend all the way out on the southwest side.
Walaikum salam, welcome, welcome,
That
welcome.
sort of area in, but this is not what you want to see to open things up for a survival stage.
No, we've been here before, you're right, man. Those
Walaikum
group
salam,
stages,
walaikum salam,
the
welcome,
aggro
welcome.
Circles we were getting and similar
आज
scenario there.
थोड़ा
Lot of
YouTube पे
landmass gonna
changes
be cut
लाया
off,
हमने.
Potential for the bridge to be in
YouTube पे
play
थोड़ा
as well.
changes किया हुआ है.
See if that's a blessing for some teams. Or
Thank you, brother. Thank you. Welcome, welcome.
Far further up towards the right side. We join the POV of.
Let's go, let's go, let's go.
Couple shots out of the
16
window
तारीख को,
from
16
Nikita,
तारीख को,
getting the
16
read
तारीख को
on
मैचेस है.
Pretty nice game one from them. So obviously, if you can punish early,
आज
slow down
सर्वाइवल
DK from
सीरीज
actually accumulating point
स्टेज
after point,
डे
would be the
1 है.
dream
कल भी
scenario.
है. उसके बाद
Hopefully add those points to your
फाइनल.
tally.
शेर खान वेलकम,
Response as
वालेकुम
well, but
सलाम.
right now, they are
वालेकुम सलाम.
north and
जो
south
बंदे आ रहे हैं
split
सारों को
on
खुश
Pachinki.
आमदीद. वालेकुम सलाम.
So not super close to danger. Definitely it's disengageable here, depending on the vehicle counts that each team has. And I feel like in Pachinki, you cannot get stuck in too far here, especially with a circle like this. You have to look to disengage in these scenarios. The thing that sort of plays on the reverse
Let's
side
go!
of drop spot in the future matches.
Oh
a
my
lot of
yes!
teams find value in saying, you know what?
Sajid,
we're
welcome.
not giving up our drop spot.
Sajjad,
We're just
welcome.
gonna we're telling you we'll sacrifice our
salam.
game in
India
order to
की
maintain this
team
top
final
spot, this
में.
drop spot for the next. Well, they've still got 5 Erangels
देखो
after
Aurora
this to play.
नेपाल से पाकिस्तान की टीम
I could call that into question.
इंडिया की
I'm
दो
not a
टीमें
professional
बाकी
coach, so maybe
फाइनल में
there's some
सारे
reason there, maybe
16
there's some
तारीख
maths
को
to do, but
16 of
I feel like it's
August.
still very, very
Let's
dangerous,
go, my
especially
friend!
for Pachinki, and especially
yeah.
on a plane path like this, where a lot of the map was just super accessible.
Web Gaming, वालेकुम सलाम.
Thank
Thank you,
that
big fan,
individual
thank you.
decision making if they want to fight or not, or really what they're aiming for. I imagine for the viewers at home, you're going to be aiming to get yourself some beautiful skins as well. John, we've got a great event going on right now in game. I know you've been hyped for this one.
Absolutely.
चलो गेम पे फोकस करते हैं. Bro, today support what? आज support किसको कर रहे हैं? यार आज हर टीम को support
Any of our
करेंगे.
players have the org though, which is unfortunate.
यार देखो यहाँ पे Wolfie
The
है.
team really going to be able to take on the
Ulf
supply truck either.
अपना
Given that they're in a bit of a standoff.
Flora है
Makes things
और
little bit nasty.
RDX
to play from Pachinki.
DRX sorry और कौन है? Geeky है, Goat है.
Let the
ये
tension
टीमें
just
यार.
settle here.
E-Arena है. चलो देखते हैं.
Nade line up through the window.
Oh,
It's a nice chip, John. Could have been beautiful.
Oh my yeah!
to catch a little spray
Fast
on the
fight!
step across there.
Geeky!
Not going to quite get the knock, and it's again just retreating, being a little bit safe. Like you said, deck of cards type play, reshuffle yourselves somewhat, but that is a nice little reshuffle from Ragnarok on the sidelines, able to get the side swipe, and GK have got their opener. Now, do they try and take this one fast, or are they going to slow themselves down again? They want to try and
One more
knock, and there is no way that they're getting those two players back up. Surely not, as GK descend from multiple angles. One is cut across, but it's not the same story for the others.
No, it's really nice from Kevin. Beautiful predict with the nade. Pops perfectly. Reply back over. Easy for Bad Boy cleaning up. So 1 by 1, Dopeness suffering heavy losses on this. It was Makita that took a few pot shots over to the GK roster to start it off, and they went, you know what, you want to fight, let's take it.
Let's get it done. 2 players now left for Dopeness. Ulf did manage to rotate over the north side of Pochinki, and because this fight is taking place, it means that the teams in Pochinki, or if there had only been one, the team in Pochinki has not moved out to the west side.
यार देखो मैं उल्फ को आना है. उल्फ बड़ी अच्छी टीम है. ये देखो उल्फ वाले आ गए.
There's a third-party angle, leaving Aaron up on the top of the hill. They could start to slow it down even more, and they're going to have so much information about what has been going on in this area. Aaron doesn't even want to stick around for the flush. He gives up his position, and they're just going to back it off. And Ulf are going to be the ones to take down the supply truck from Pochinki. This is huge for Ulf.
Yeah, this is really nice.
Yeah, अभी से लूट ले रहे हैं उल्फ वाले.
Themselves hopefully some high tier loot to play with.
उल्फ ये राउंड निकालेगी देखो खाली. ये राउंड निकालेगी उल्फ. चेक करो खाली गेम प्ले चेक करो.
Grab your benefits from it. Alongside possibly forcing the hand of these two teams a little bit more as well with the damage done from that high rise angle. Oh, G, good for one. Come in potential.
One at me.
Spams. Save G trying to peek back into it. Shot into the thigh. Stays alive. Mikita on the wraparound. Has that molly through the window.
Oh, he tears the player step a little bit too late. Faster, but it's going to work out. Holding the ground.
What?
And GK get a little bit too bold with it. Aaron from the off.
Do bit,
and they are starting to shake. Shots starting to show vulnerability. Another big nade from Saf G though puts them in the advantage once more. One player now standing for Dopeness.
Kenji has the Bizon to play with. What can he do?
Oh no!
Spams over on the side, but not enough to keep them in it as the nade from Ragnarok blows him away, and Dopeness off the drop. Exit stage left with 2 limbs. But that is a detriment to GK.
Yeah, they do win the fight, sure. There was that third party coming through from Ulf as they wrapped around on that northern side. Tiamba now going to take up that mantle, but this is what you have to be afraid of on these hot drops. They no longer have prio when it comes to getting out to the west. On a hard shift like this, they have lost too much time for me to really be considering them deeply into the rest of this match. Everybody else much, much faster, and we are going to focus our attention now on teams making that break out west. A lot of teams coating the west side coast and the south edge as well, near Ferry Pier, around Quarry. Yangon Galacticos, very much the back of the queue.
See if Yangon can keep some good energy rolling for that roster over the course of today's playdate. A lot of eyes on them. Now 2 reigning champions in the lobby, of course, being Yangon Galacticos, and then behind that, Alpha 7 from the year prior, back in 2020. PMWC.
Fine, thank you, Mohammed Shehzad. Welcome.
Circle.
Nurullah, welcome.
Oh, no way!
John, what are we doing?
What is going on? Goodness me, a massive western shift on this zone. It is brutal.
बहुत खतरनाक fight होगा अभी. बहुत खतरनाक fight होगा.
A quagmire of a position. It just sticks you down. You can't really move freely around it. So for Ulf, they may be able to take the ridgeline, but getting down future may be difficult. I don't think too many teams are going to be able to play around Quarry, and this is going to get nasty.
Alpha 7 भी है इसमें. Alpha 7 भी है. DRX भी है. Wolf भी है. Geeky भी है.
And 7-2-1 are going to try and crash in. Everybody on the south edge being
Tamba, यार अच्छे team से. बहुत अच्छे team से.
This is going to get very, very dirty.
There's something in the air.
यहाँ से 6 टीमें जाएगी. 6 टीमें बाकी बाहर.
John, but the circles we've had have resulted in some ridiculous games the whole way through, from start to finish. It's never easy. Feels like we're playing with 50% land in every single game. Half of it's always taken up by the water.
Ayaz, welcome guys, welcome.
We go again.
Shahid Khan, welcome.
Crunching down.
Mohammed Azam.
It's only going to get harder to get into
Umair
a safe
Khan,
location the zone the longer they leave this one.
Ali Hassan, welcome guys, welcome. Facebook, hello, welcome.
Yangon Galacticos just about making it past Quarry. Ulf actually went straight past Quarry, and they're now very central on this zone, Jackie. They're looking to play out to the west side of the road.
It is silent. Silence, welcome. यार YouTube वालों like भी करो साथ-साथ.
Looking to maybe play a 2-2 split. Yangon Galacticos happy to post up around those Quarry warehouses for the time being. Maybe move on a little bit further because you've got AG.AL moving in behind them. FURIA, in the meantime, trying to get out of Primorsk, playing in from that south edge. I like this.
Brother, where is Pakistan team? Pakistan की team 16 तारीख को खेलेगी. 16 August. Finals खेलेगी.
Later on, and that really is the plan for the scout.
Fortnite.
Thing is, for some of our teams as well, this accelerates the way you have to play this one. I think a Go team, they usually like those very long, safe rotates where they want to be inside of the blue, taking their opportunity to build into a great late game finish. Here, you can't really play that style. Have to take a few shots onto FURIA as they catch line of sight on the road. This is going to be Vote Team's POV. Elevated angle, Killer Joe getting swarmed on as well. The AG.AL Killer Bees on the move as they head down towards the road, looking to cut round Go and get themselves into a better position. Doesn't get any easier though. The Wolves just up ahead.
Yeah, and Ulf as well, looking to try and stymie that approach from the south side. AG.AL on the side of a road, looking to maybe control the shack, but Aaron's already in occupation. Ketch needs to line him up, and Aaron takes a lot of damage there. Far too much for my liking. Has to fold back, and that gives AG.AL a chance. Ketch now in danger as AG.AL continue their pursuit to move on forwards. Somehow they're making this march, and I'm surprised that they've been able to get this far, Jackie. Next circle, is it going to be similarly brutal? It goes coastal side, maybe less brutal, but even so, it's nasty.
Still punishing stuff.
Inshallah.
Cutting out that landmass. Team standing on each other. Shoulder
यार
to shoulder.
वो high ground है, उधर से मारो ना.
Right, man.
Free kill से. वो high ground वाले क्या कर रहे हैं?
Brief respite to catch their breath. Tiamba as well.
RRQ वाले क्या कर रहे हैं?
They're catching line of sight of this. Few pod shots being fired towards their general direction. Only really three squads that are outside of the zone right now. And Nonshin Red Force down to Primorsk with a wrap up from FURIA close by, and then GK coming in down from the north side late.
This RRQ position, really important. The hill that sits towards the coastline, you can see the high ground that they're able to control. Ulf trying to move into the foothills around it, but AG.AL are peppering them. Apparently Aaron is in nade range there. That's a long arm on that one.
चलो भाई.
Looks to try and find some more, but he's already crawling away, crawling back to the rest of the roster. For RRQ, this is great, but they need to start leveraging it for elims. I think that's Aaron down and out. I think it may well be, but
whoa.
Red Force time.
And let's get that.
Whoa! With a loggerhead, so nobody's looking happy with this. FURIA on two players and just one, Jackie.
Yeah,
what we do here?
This with a smile on their face, unless they can completely recover now. Thankfully, the last shot goes through pretty heavy-handedly to punish one more man from Nonshin, leaving it down to a solo. FURIA are going to be attempting to get the recovery on the go. CXCY did bail out. Surprised he's still standing. Bullet after bullet being injected towards the vehicle. He just keeps driving.
Cheeky little seat swap there.
Got it!
But he might as well have pulled up.
Hey!
Or maybe he's going to pull up on a...
Hey!
It's not going to work out, though. Okay, a little bit wild, but not really too many options left for him. If he'd have stopped maybe a touch earlier, he could have had the hop out, grab some of those shots, but wasn't quite there with it, not quite slick enough. AG.AL with a little bit of a danger approaching them, able to hold their nerve.
Elimination delivery on that one.
Imran Shah alayhi salam.
Double check the code, gave it to him. TRX as well, Hillside takeover. Trey trying to get a read on things.
Okay, bro, okay.
AlUla back into the fight as well. DK taking the head-on approach towards Yangon with AlUla amongst them, sandwiching them there. So they do go down. That's our third and fourth position team off the back of our opening game of Rondo already out of the running. So opportunities for some lapping to occur.
DK obviously the team that won Pachinki, but kind of lost as well.
यार मैं सारों को support कर रहा हूँ.
We'll be keeping an eye on if that continues to happen
for
those two teams.
बड़ी-बड़ी जो टीमें मैं चाहता हूँ कि वो final में आ जाएं.
By the way, they were slowing themselves down, something awful. A lot of casualties in the middle of this zone, and rightly so. It keeps the coastline in here, and again, RRQ's position on that western side, on that hill, gets stronger and stronger, as well as the compound for E-Arena on that west side too.
यार देखो, Wolf वालों के पर अगर
FURIA is going to be crashing into them. Either that, or they try to sneak around behind RRQ's hill and take control of that area of the map.
या RRQ वालों पे GG well played
hoga. Could be a game-changing play. Establish a nice area.
यार DRX का
force them out.
समझ में नहीं आ रहा है मुझे.
Starting to get a bit excited in the crowd now as well. Energy building up here in Paris going into game 2. Foobs man with the quick repairs. He's certified for this one. Let's go team with all four players still alive right now. A wraparound potentially for KRX as well. Bit of a split there between Trey and Binny as they've broken off from one another.
Singham, Gujarat, thank you. Neeraj, welcome,
on the
thank you.
side.
Chalo bhai.
With 3 players alive on the beachhead. Binny. He's going to start to stick away from the blue from the water.
Chalo bhai, pani mein gaya, pani mein gaya.
And neither's going to go
यार
your way.
क्या DRX वाले यार बहुत अच्छी टीम है क्या कर रहे हैं?
One player now left standing for them. Over on the northeast side near the backstop for GOAT. Furia, instead of going towards the zone, looks like maybe they want to try and take care of GOAT team first, or at least scout it out. They're wrapped back around fairly quickly as the last player from Kiwoom DRX goes down.
Yeah, Foopsman finds that one. We saw the other player, of course, denying it out to the blue, not wanting to give the points over to Furia, so that is where their story ends in game 2. Killer Joe, off-angle peek from the sideline.
And
the attention of Furia was all on Moxie. Joe was able to take the first bit of damage with ease. Silence replies, though. Shuts down Foops, leaves him on his last legs. Good name for Moxie. Shushes Silence. If this is on target, could be very lethal. Trying to get it over the hillside onto the close grouping. A trio of Furia players with one man in the vehicle.
क्या कर रहे हैं ये?
Chief on the push back over. AG.AL.
अबे cross पे फेंकना.
We're up here, John.
Yeah, the off angle from Arena is chiming in as well, and another nade sent over the top. It's big boom after big boom coming through from GOAT team. And now it's just AlUla on the forefront. On the back line, it's Igor who needs to come up big here against GOAT team, but they can't push forwards because of that Arena off angle, which is slowing this fight down really annoyingly for GOAT team. The advantage, though, is that they can start to use this time to maybe find a foothold into the zone because the blue zone is upon them, and you can't as fast as you can. Silence may not be able to get back up here.
A bit.
They knew there was the rock up from the back line when Elementrix got the takedown on GOAT team, so they've read that, reassessed and wrapped off, like you say. And they've gone straight into the awaiting arms of Tianba. Terrifying Tianba today. They've changed their fate.
Tianba!
Racked up, that puts them on 2 so far.
Now they're encroaching towards AG.AL. Both in the same region, and there's the crash from Igor.
Whoa!
They know there's a player in here. They need to try and keep safe, but it's not going super well for everyone. Tianba able to stay alive on the inside, but losing one on the out, and Liu gets some retribution. AG.AL now playing on us 2 in the center of the circle as it shrinks right on top of them. Holding this position would be great, but there's so many angles now staring you down.
Nades are good as well. One gets it right on target. Goodbye, AG.AL. They go down to the nitro they've been given to breakfast. And this is where it gets far more scary as well.
Oh my God, Tamba not coming slow, my friend!
On the setup, Yangon Galacticos pushing in as a roster. Coming in together, struggling on contact with one player buckling under the pressure, and Wolves, they smell the opportunity to steal some easy limbs. Nade arced over, Elementrix dives out, Romeo will fall, can't withstand that.
Oh, but there is an answer from Smile to find a knock over onto a Wolves player, leaving AlUla potentially to be able to... No, I don't think they can get this res with the blue zone coming on in now. Doesn't quite have the time to get the crawl back. It would be a miracle to get that back to 2. So for AlUla, it may be drawing short here. In the meantime, the Wolves have got GOAT team pushing in behind them. Wolves felt that they were third-partying it, but they've been fourth-partied necessary. Can't quite do what he needed to. As Force goes in with the shotgun trade. Elementrix, though, still on the swivel for Wolves. Doing work. But Killer Joe left to survive this one. Has another opportunity for the fight, but Elementrix is looking clean with it. Stone has to dip back.
Killer these sort of encounters, John, where he does his best work. He's able to really nail that one with the UMP. Looking for the revive on Force as well, so they can fight on as a duo. Tourniquet. He's got the angle, John.
Oh, he doesn't quite get the peak fully there, though. He's a little bit too timid, and that's going to allow the res to come through from GOAT team. Tourniquet could still play spoiler to it. He sees them now. He's going to know exactly where they are, and he can step forwards for it. Force, I think, might know as well. Killer Joe into the bucket. Welcome. They're going to have to play against this. But Tourniquet gets back, and the Arena don't want to overcommit.
Jumps back in the vehicle, puts the pedal to the metal and pieces out for now. Whilst Force continues to hit heavy, quick, not fast enough for AlUla's escape plan. As only one man remains, Claws cruising over into the awaiting arms of Ulf. They've seen him coming. And if he keeps going, it'll be RRQ that will have this one set up.
Salam alaikum!
That's the takedown.
Should have gone that way a little bit earlier. RRQ to the beach side have given up control over a lot of this hill. It was under pressure, but I feel like you do need to start to think about stepping forwards now. The difficulty with that is, of course, Furia's position on the south edge. They do need to keep control. That's why they've invested so much in terms of moving there, but that opens opportunities for Alpha 7 on the north side to start to be a major player in the circle. They've been quite quiet up until now. They get a lot more control and maybe sneak in behind RRQ, or rather in front of them now.
Furia, it's not been easy for them for the positions they've been forced into. Still standing as a trio after losing Silence quite some time ago from that engagement over the top. It was Foops that took him out. Made onto the vehicles. RRQ not overcommitting for this, wrapping off with the zone shifting in as well, crunching further up towards the mainland.
Yeah, I mean, that's where I wanted RRQ to be looking to
play. What a tense fight, my friend.
They probably did want to play that already, but you can see that Irina may as well been able to chime in depending on exactly where you're playing it.
Wolf?
And the crunch in on the east side, I think.
Tamba!
Tricky. Irina looks like they were willing to go and go rounds, go quite wide with the potential for them to actually move into the west side engagement.
Yeah, Alpha 7.
And towards go as RRQ look to regroup.
Yeah, 7-2-1 SG.
The sub coming in.
GS
7 will be the player to hold.
Whoa.
Looking to control it. Doesn't quite tag with the first shot. There is the top of the hill coming on to play.
They focus all their fire on him. He's able to withstand the pressure and get back up from the rest of the boys as Alpha 7 start to thrive off the noise being made by the fans in the arena. RRQ detonating the vehicle to shut down the super sub for the side. What can the rest of the roster get up to here? Bullets being peppered towards them. Amongst all this, 721 GRS struck upon by Ulf.
Whoa!
Ravo just drives into the middle of it all. Let's go.
Ravo!
Does he dodge all of those?
Whoa!
Korea with the seat swap.
Korea!
For 7.
Alpha 7 out.
Revo looked immaterial crossing that open beach. But it was not to be, and now Furia can
Furia लेके जाएगा. Furia लेके जाएगा.
Crunch it behind this too, and they are doing just that.
Nades on target, good damage. Furia, they've had to play defensive for so long now. We're seeing that aggression come out, cutthroat play so far. Wrap around the back, the nades look good, but a bare bounce over the top side.
Oh my yes!
With the rounds instead. RRQ fall.
Down they go. Furia looking to piece themselves back together. Irina maybe a little bit too slow to jump on the back lines for Furia as they establish themselves. Ulf as well, look at a challenge over on the northern side. Obviously, but still a force to be reckoned with. Kelsey and Scarface have got some solid positions to play around. Irina on the south border. I think they're the team to beat here, Jackie. It feels like on this south side, they have got control. They've got a lot of what they need, and Furia is committing towards the north side.
Energy building up.
पीछे कोई नहीं है तेरे पीछे कोई नहीं है.
Galacticos signs, John. The Alpha 7 fans bringing the heat once again as well, but they've got one thing in common right now. Neither squad remains alive currently in game 2, out of the contest here. A lot of different sides that are looking to really squeeze a good injection to point out of this for Tianba as well, thinking about the potential of a ludicrous start to the day if they can do the unthinkable.
I mean, they've already gotten 5 elims and gotten up to a 5th place. This is a good game regardless for Tianba. They are going to be happy with this performance. Next zone through.
FURIA लेके जाएगी.
Pretty dead center. I don't think there's too much to worry about for the arena for Tianba and for Furia. But for GOAT team, I think this is going to be their big test, right? They are just playing on this one tree. They've got some vehicles in the back lines, sure, but
Wolf का मुझे नहीं लग रहा FURIA.
And where do you
मालूम नहीं यार,
go?
देखते हैं
Where do
अभी.
you go? It might just have to be a crazy wide
Wolf
sweep.
का जगह गलत है. Wolf का जगह गलत
You're
है.
going to light you up. You need a pick. You need an
FURIA लेके
opening.
जाएगी.
I just don't see Goatsy moving forwards.
Yeah, it's not been the easiest approach for them.
Bye bye.
They've been trying.
Bye bye. मैं बोला ना, मैंने बोला ना. उनका जगह गलत
They
है.
think there's a chance to get a drop on him. With Kelsey trapped by the rocks there after
यार कैसी जानती जगह वल्लो.
Scarface to get him back on his feet. This could be another chance for FURIA to flush out one more squad, push themselves even further with 2 elims going their way if they do it cleanly.
Yeah, go team. You really can't be doing
God
anything here.
God big है, God big है, God big है. खला.
There's nothing to do. Fair enough.
Scarface गया. Scarface गया. Scarface गया. Scarface गया.
As Tiamba actually take the towards Kelsey, and Scarface still kicking as AG.AL takes a knee. E-Arena in the meantime can start to march in from the south.
Boom!
Finish off Scarface, but AG.AL
Scarface
needs to be
gया.
secured, and this is beautiful.
चलो E-Arena Tamba.
FURIA committed to that north side, and there is now nothing stopping E-Arena taking the entirety of this ridgeline in a 3-way engagement.
Yeah, this is great decision making. Instantly aggressing when they think they've got a moment to get the drop on them. FURIA down to 3 players of AG.AL, unfortunately falling in that head-to-head versus Scarface. That puts so much more pressure on this team. They've got to get him back up.
कौन आके जाके जल्दी बताओ.
Thankfully, he's done so.
जल्दी बताओ अपना prediction दे दो.
So much space, so much map control.
E-Arena के 4, FURIA के 3, Tamba के 3.
No Milu's position.
क्या बोलते हो?
The nades they've been able to push forwards. AG.AL
Whoa, FURIA ने push कर दिया.
E-Arena actually going to regress on their hold, not wanting to stay overextended or maybe move those vehicles in different ways, swap them out, something like that. But just like giving that ground there was an interesting decision, but they get it back very, very quickly. FURIA don't try and push over the top on it. Still waiting for this one to get forced by the circle.
और ये जो high ground है ना ऐसे यूं है तो बहुत मुश्किल है ये high ground.
And step up probably towards that burnt out buggy. That's where he's pacing himself towards. AG.AL cannot find an angle.
For love nor money right now. No chance to get a raw free peek onto them. Just looking to cast that first stone, open it up with an advantage. The first domino falling for either of these squads will be very detrimental.
सबर करो, अभी zoom जैसे बंद होगा पता चलेगा.
They've got 1 extra man in the squad. Takes a little bit more pressure off them, but they still need a clean
वो
fight.
final में,
From
final
either
में.
side, it wouldn't really change much.
Next stage closes dead central on this, and no one really has the full inside track. Have the most ability to move around. If FURIA go down, Tiamba can start to move up the hill. That might give them a little opening door. FURIA now moving much closer towards the arena, and the nades are going to start to cause problems for Mormon. The Molotov's there as well, but he has the smoke to cover his vision and hits the deck. Looks to get some healing. No,
अरे तंबा वाले क्या कर रहे हैं?
Shocked. I'm absolutely shocked he's still standing there. Stereo nades got out either side. It felt like 1 bullet away from him falling. Popped himself back up, like you say. He's quick with the meds. FURIA debating where they really need to engage on this. Is it easier to try and wrap around
उनको मालूम है वो नीचे, उनको मालूम है वो नीचे, उनको मालूम है.
Towards them, they're going to go in the direction of Tiamba. AG.AL, thought maybe they were a little bit closer than they are. Had the DBS primed, scouting play as well. They're losing a lot of space from this peak up from E-Arena, starting to force them further back. It's getting scary out there.
Final zone.
यार बड़ा खतरनाक सिचुएशन है मेरी जान.
Straight into the middle. Can't hang about now. No elims for E-Arena. So they would love to try and sweep a couple of these up. Over the top of the hill, they're looking to put a pressure onto FURIA. They fight back. Eco goes 1 for 1 on the trade, which is not great news for them. But where are Tiamba? Can they make a pass at this? Try and move in behind FURIA. I think they might be going for it. They've heard this fight break out. They've seen the knocks come through. And the backlines from E-Arena getting a little bit false-footed as Tiamba make their play.
Tiamba, triple threat of nades thrown over the top. Erupting explosions towards FURIA's angle after knowing they're weak. They're still not overly.
What? Don't team X team camper. Don't team X team camper. Boom.
Good. Great on the FURIA. Chief with a reply. Mormon's drop. Joker hits the headshot back onto him. It's a 1-for-1 stalemate. Tiamba still waiting.
Finally, a second knock, and now FURIA on one. Tiamba have read this nicely. Igor the last to go, and they wrap around. They roll it down. QZ wants to shut it out to the arena now. The last hurdle for Tiamba. Three players versus two. Joker off in the distance, but there's one in the smoke. QZ relies on his teammates. He turns for a moment, but he knows they've got his back, and in a 1 versus 3, can he make it work? Mormon now bleeding out to the zone.
Oh my God,
will fall in the face.
Tamba ka dusra chicken. Tamba ka dusra chicken mere bhai.
Brilliant.
Talks of Tiamba looking timid in their group stage.
Tiamba ka do chicken ho gaya bhai sahab. Oh my yes. Well played, well played. GG.
Following that, back to back.
GG's.
Incredible start to the survival stage here.
Really brilliant opener.
Tamba.
For a team that, as we were saying, a lot of criticisms levied at their play style. They only just about managed to get into the survival stage with a late in the day chicken dinner. But they did look much better during that chicken dinner, during those group stages. And this is exactly the sort of development you want to see. Able to go, I think it was 11 eliminations as well there, Jackie. It is a monumental start for them. Getting towards the top 6 just got a whole lot easier.
Yeah, dream start, man. That's what we're saying, right? We were looking at it even kind of early into that one, thinking, oh, they've done pretty well with the elims. It looks like they've got a good set of heads on their shoulders today. Way better for you when you not only get 1 chicken dinner, but 2 already locked in. Playing it smart, I was a little bit worried we're going to see some of those signs of them not willing to really engage when they have a bit of an advantage. We saw that a few times in groups. It looks like they've recovered that.
Yeah, I mean, the instance right at the end there, where they saw 1 knock on either side, they said, you know what, now's as good as any. The zone's closing, we've got to go. They had the nades, a little bit off target with the nades. I think it's safe to say they didn't have a full read on the position of FURIA, so overexpending a little bit of utility there. So still, improvements to be made,
by the way.
I think I can forgive them that. They were still able to crunch it behind, be the pneumatic press that crunched FURIA and followed through straight on towards E-Arena, who, given the solid position that they had on that south side for so long, surprising they weren't able to get many units at all. A very minimal point-scoring game for a team that plays
finals में तगड़ा मुकाबला होगा, तगड़ा 16 के 16 टीमों का तगड़ा जिन्होंने इंटरनेशनल पहले खेल चुके हैं। यानी यहाँ पे ऐसी टीम से जो गोट हो गया, वुल्फ हो गया, यूनी हो गया, ईएन हो गया, E-Arena I mean, FURIA और Geek और कौन है? DRX, तांबा ये चले जाए और अल्फा 7 ये जाए, ये फाइनल पे जाए, मजा आएगा।
Be a little bit more like Tiamba. I think it's safe to say we're going to head down to the stage and we're going to catch up with some of the players.
Yes, we are. And who are we going to talk to other than Tiamba and QZZ here? Back-to-back wins to start off the
No one fighter. Shout out to you, bro. Shout out to you.
Right? Back-to-back wins. Obviously, in the group stage, you didn't have the easiest of time. So what was the focus for the team between the group stage coming into now the survival stage?
QZ 首先恭喜你们
भाईजान 2 चिकन कर दिए इन लोगों ने
非常优秀的一个发挥。当时你们小组赛的时候可能打得不算那么好，然后现在进了生存赛之后，明显就是状态调整过来了。能跟我们说你们当时调整的时候主要注重哪些方面呢？
其实我们没有做太多调整，
ये अभी से अपना पोजीशन बना रहे हैं, ये अभी से अपना पोजीशन बना रहे हैं भाई।
一些东西，然后大家状态都变好了一些。然后我的调整就是我加了个手机壳，因为我用那个手机。
भाई अभी से हटो बचो वाला सीन कर रहे हैं। हटो बचो वाला सीन हो रहा है यहाँ पे।
Adjustments. I think that we were in this strategy. I think we were absolutely fine. It's just that in the group stages, I think everyone's form was just a little lackluster. And then coming to the survival stage, I think we are now performing a lot better. I think everyone's form is just peaking right now. And in terms of adjustments, for me personally, what I adjusted was I added I added a case to my phone.
Oh.
And I think that really helped to reduce some of the kind of like not registering some of my key inputs, my touches. So I think that really helped as well.
More accurate at all. That makes a lot of sense. And going to the Rondo game, you guys came in from the south side of the river and played alongside the river for almost the whole game. What were the biggest threats to you guys for that first win?
当时你们第一张图的时候，你们相当于就是从那条河的南边，就是进圈的，然后而且你们相当于是我唯一支队站在那边。
Raja Khan, thank you, Habibi,
这
thank
条
you, shukran.
河的南边在那边打了一整场。当时一整场下来，你能不能跟我说一下最主要的一些威胁会是什么呢？
哦，其实最主要的威胁是我们准备反清山上的一波，然后我们差点被右边的 KR。
यार ये T Tamba Chinese team है ना, China का ये है。
那一波，然后那波可能是最具威胁的一波。
Well, I'll say the most dangerous point was when we were trying to clear a hill, and then I think KRX actually had the slip on us, and it was a very tough battle. I think we.
Thank you, yaar,
really
SSP
dangerous
Army.
for us, but we managed to hold on and we
I love
managed
you.
to fight back, and we managed to win that battle. And I think that was the single most like we almost got eliminated point.
All right, QZZ, amazing once again. Thank you very much. Thank you for the translations. That does it for us down here on the stage. Will Tiamba get another win on the day? Looking like it. It's crazy.
ये क्या है राजा 333 वेलकम ओ माय यस आप लोग को क्या लगता है आज के दिन कौन टॉप पे रहेगा क्या बोलते हो कौन सी टीम टॉप पे रहेगी क्या बोलते हैं यानी टॉप 1 है 2 है 3 है 4 है 5 है 6 है ये 6 टीमें जो इस पोजीशन पे रहेंगे 6 टीमें यही क्वालिफाई करेंगे फाइनल्स में बाकी टीमों का टिकट कट जाएगा और टाटा बाय बाय घर गॉड 40 तो ऑलरेडी फाइनल में है मेरी जान मैं अभी की आज ग्रुप स्टेज की बात कर रहा हूँ सर्वाइवर स्टेज की बात कर रहा हूँ
Spin currently going on within the game. Make sure you log in, do the spins, do all the fun stuff before he goes away because we do have the Electron energy set, the Proton power set, and the stunning Alien Fusion gross out, which Max was telling me
Nomi Khan.
This was co-created with PvP creator Nana, and I won the gross.
Korea. Really, Nomi Khan?
Oh
my
god.
yeah.
Talking about the game, this
I
last
love
game.
you, bro.
Tiamba. Oh my. Especially that ending too, the way that they ended up pushing to FURIA and then just demolish Arena.
यार इसके साथ मुझे PUBG खेलना है यार इसकी आईडी मिल सकती है मुझे
nitty-gritty analysis of the finishing of that game.
ये काले कपड़ों वाली की आईडी मिल सकती है इसके साथ PUBG खेलना है यार 1v1 रूम करना है M24
Western Coast finish. I don't know how they keep doing it, man. Their rotations are on a separate level here at PMWC 2026 as we check out the player stats here. And QZZ, Milu, oh my goodness, 4.5 average eliminations per game so far today, putting up the numbers. And I didn't
14,
predict
15,
because I was actually quite
16.
disappointed by them in their groups. And it's clearly working out for them, Niptro. Well done, I guess.
Yeah, I mean, we still got a long couple of days ahead of us, but based on the last 2 games, I think we can really start to change our minds about them. They're being very, very consistent. What I really
I'm
love is that
working
they
in the
bided their
office
time.
and
They
listening
waited,
to
right?
you.
Look,
Really?
Because
She's a
Wow, shout out to Nomi Khan watching me from
underneath this hill, right?
Office.
Waiting for these two to get together, start fighting, and then push. Look at that.
Yeah, I mean, that push on FURIA, of course, the timing of that is great because FURIA is at their absolute weakest, and also Arena.
Whoa.
But I wanted to focus very clearly on this replay on Milu and QZZ. The focus, the sheer determination at that moment, putting the focus on the same player at the same time. What an absolutely amazing fragging duo, and clearly they're the main reason so far they've been successful on this opening day of
यार Red Force कितनी अच्छी टीम है DRX कितनी अच्छी टीम है मालूम नहीं क्या हुआ इनको
Loving the action that they're currently putting on. 12 eliminations there for Tiamba, being able to come off with the win. FURIA, this is a team that we've been wondering where have they been. They finally ended up showing up here in this game, Max, with those 7 eliminations, 12 points total.
Happy to see it, really. What a hold on Primorsk in particular. They were holding off Nongshim Red Force. I know Blank was very excited about their hold.
2 मैच हुए 4 मैच बाकी है.
Statement that hilltop is their hilltop for the rest of that game. So FURIA, you know, a little bit topsy-turvy back in the group stage, but Niptro this time around, strong podium finish, which is what we love to see from that Brazilian squad.
No, I do like it. I like it a lot. The only thing I want to say, if I could just really nitpick here, is that they they had a very strong mid game, right? Very strong, very proactive. I really enjoyed that. I was like, okay, yes, FURIA, they're coming in strong. We also saw them move on to the RRQ and A7 fight really quickly with so much force. There was no backing. There was no coming back from that for RRQ. So very, very well done. But they kind of slowed down. They waited to that stage 9. I would have liked to see them be a little bit more proactive with EA. I know that they were, you know, intimidated by Tiamba there, that other third team rather being there, but I would have liked just a little bit more momentum coming through from them. Side note onto Tiamba, actually, speaking of momentum, Tiamba went from 0 to 100. Did you see that? When they realized that that fight was finally happening, they went from sitting behind a tree to full on pushing like that. 10 out of 10, no notes.
It was very good, but I want to go back real quick to what you were saying about FURIA in particular, slowing down a bit at the end. I don't want to criticize that too much. I think it was actually a good play.
यार ये बहुत बात करें FURIA अच्छी टीम है. देखो मुझे इतना इन टीमों के बारे में इतना ज़्यादा नॉलेज नहीं है, लेकिन जो मैंने पिछले साल देखे थे जो टीम थे अल्फा 7 गिकी गोड DRX DXR Tamba
a very hard circle for that squad, by the way. I think that's still a win.
Rosemary का जो टीम है
Brazilian squads, you have Alpha 7 still not being able to do that well. Only putting up points via.
यहाँ पे मुझे ऐसे लग रहा है कुछ नई टीमें भी आई हुई है. इस बार.
It's a hard zone though. It's a hard circle to really get eliminations. You've got so many.
Tiamba was able to do it.
Tiamba was able to do it. I think it's
and they don't land even close.
What's going on situation?
True. I think it's
Amy, welcome. Walaikum salam.
Get in there early. You're
Seriously,
avoid teams. Then you know that side was very.
पहला रंगल ठंडा गया यानी normal fights and
but I think there's just so
Tamba ले गई.
What it's actually doing is allow.
लेकिन उसमें हक FURIA या फिर E Arena का था. Tamba पीछे से आके ले गई.
I can't make a move in this.
By the way, going back in this game, there was a very interesting moment for Tiamba, which really enabled them in the first place to be a contender for that chicken dinner. Is they had all these teams in the swamp. They're like, just let's get away from that position.
45 points.
They understand when if
you
know what, chicken dinners are definitely worth taking. 2 chicken
Tiamba का देखो war.
points. Tiamba making it happen on Rondo and the first Orangle. And you know what? With only 12 games to play here, if they don't pull an E, top 6 is looking pretty good.
ये normal game is खेलो खाले आराम से चले जाएंगे ये.
Though we have to watch out for is it's a group B all over again. It really is because you've got that point sponge at the top.
जो बड़ी टीमें हैं ना जो बड़ी टीमें
19 we saw there.
DRX and Alpha 7 नीचे.
Gonna still go that way by the end of today. We're probably gonna see the same sort
I hope for the best for them. I hope. मैं चाहता हूँ जो बड़ी-बड़ी टीमें आ जाए.
At the beginning of the day, we're talking about Sony story of the day. No sponge points against
यानी 6th position पे.
We are here. We're gonna be sponging up all those points. We still have a lot more survival stage coming up, but before we go into the next game, we're gonna be sending it over to Kalaris in blank.
Yeah, you know, I'd really like to talk about.
Let's go! Come on,
with what you guys are
match देखने.
What about Tiamba? How are we supposed to ignore what they've been able to do? I think though, if we really kind of step back and look at those 2 victories they got though here, blank.
अगर ये बड़ी टीम है, अच्छी टीम है, अभी पता चलेगा. ये राउंड में पता चलेगा कितनी अच्छी टीम है. ठीक है. अभी तक मैंने इंटरेस्टिंग चीज नहीं देखा इनका. आए लोग ने जगह पकड़ा, लेट गए उधर. वोल्फी के साथ थोड़ा इनका हल्लड़ हुल्लड़ हो गया. वोल्फी के साथ 2-3 नेड हो गया, वो भी चुप, ये भी चुप. एंड पे E Arena and FURIA का अटैक हो गया. ऊपर से पीछे से आके आराम से चिकन ले गए.
Yes. Only works. I will say as well,
अब देखते हैं.
back a little bit as I've just interviewed QZZ. Just before the interview, actually just after
DRX खेल रही है भाई.
High-fiving and everything like that. He showed me that he hurt his hand. He hurt his hand from the high five alone. So yes, they were very, very happy.
It's a strong high five right there.
That's a very strong high
हाँ
five.
एक ही टीम ने 2 chicken देना. Can you show your double biceps?
From PRI, FMVP there as well with 39 eliminations, over 7,000 damage. Crazy result from him.
Nabi Khan!
Tiamba stepping up though, because there is so much conversation.
इसी के तो पैसे लगते हैं मेरी जान. इसी के तो पैसे लगते हैं नबी खान.
With the rest of the team. It's easy. We have to have people who are.
Where did Nepali? Yeah, Nepal Aura already qualified.
Was kind of the determining factor in that.
Aura already qualified.
Damage output and the damage numbers for that second.
Aura
It was of course QZ.
14 Fortnite.
But it wasn't just the timings of which they were able to move. Again, it's the opportunity
OG,
gameplay, right? If you
Godlike,
take position away from AG.AL in this Erangel game,
Flash,
you're self-bogged down in a fight. If all kind of continue
और कौन से?
that aggression, you're suddenly going to be taken
Top
out. But they were able
dog
to show
लोगों
their
का team
defense
है.
so well after taking out AG.AL. I am super impressed by what we've just seen in these first 2 games.
It's definitely astonishing. And I
Galaxy,
think Fury is almost
Enigma,
for that way.
Galaxy
They were
or
very through, even from early on in the game to where they faced off against GOAT team. They were able to almost dominate just by LOS control, keeping themselves on the left-hand side towards the coast, where GOAT was struggling because eventually they were going to start being spotted out by teams off in the distance.
और कौन है?
And Egos, man, he was playing phenomenally well all the way up to the end. But Tiamba, just going for that instantaneous push. Now, I really do feel we had another one though with E-Arena.
सारे ये already चले गए.
I think there was just a bit of a stop-starting maneuver from them.
S2G हाँ S2G सारे गए. Vertical ये सारे.
I have my concerns with the arena.
Yes, so do I.
Because the thing is you were coming into that late game.
यार देखो final जो होगा ना, final जो होगा.
Even though they've got 0 LM, but then
अगर यहाँ से जिस टीमों की मैं नाम ले रहा हूँ वो ऊपर आ गए, top 6 पे आ गए और qualify हो गए final में. Final में ताबड़तोड़ fights होंगे, ताबड़तोड़ fight होंगे. मजा आएगा, मजा.
Absolutely, it's time. Let's head on in. Are we going to get another hot drop in Pachinki? Is it going to be a circle that, keeps at
PUBG के history में ऐसा कभी group नहीं बना है जो 16 टीमों का final खेल चुकी है.
Come out on top of this one because Tiamba has taken the first 2. Those are scratched off the card, and we have to get into the rest of it as fast as possible.
Let's go.
He's locked and loaded, inches from his screen, focused as anything.
Yeah, assessing the situation early, getting themselves nice and ready for another outing. We have these little establishing shots to some of our squads here, AG.AL, Tiamba. A few teams have been bringing the heat. Nonchalant Red Force as well, looking pretty good out there in some of the moments of play. Alpha 7, a bumpy ride. Topsy-turvy with some of the results we've seen.
Alpha 7 full panic में भाई.
That's kind of keynote we were hitting down there on the stage. The conversations we've had, they've been pulling out the stops. Get fired up for AlUla. Nice.
Oh my yes. Yeah, quick है. यार अच्छा player है quick, wallah.
Yeah, to be fair, if you lean forward,
yeah,
you're fine. It's only when you're out of the game that you're leaning back in your chair. Or at least I hope it is. We'll have to wait and see.
Yeah.
Everyone just getting ready, tapping around, playing on that spawn island.
Let's go.
But I think it's coming through fairly soon.
Up.
As the lights start.
अब पता चलेगा सांबा का. अब पता चलेगा.
We are gunning for another game here.
Let's go, boys. Carrillo.
Erangel. The plane path last time was fairly kind. It was fairly chilled out. A lot of area accessible. No real impetus to go for vehicle hot drops to try and challenge on. This time around, Jackie, the plane path is a little bit more west leaning. So maybe there is some more.
Rais, welcome salam.
But are we going to see the hot drop?
Zakar, welcome salam.
I mean, I just really don't like hot drops in general. I'm generally kind of against them. Maybe you can excuse it for the first game, maybe even the first 2 within a new lobby, but on a 12-match set, I think you just got to cut your losses. If you're not able to win it out cleanly, either team should be stepping away from this one.
I think there's a right time, right place for it. And honestly, in my mind right now, this could be one of the opportunities for it. If we start doing it towards the end of the day and we get to the next set of free games on, it might be too far gone. You make a mistake there, it could be cooked instantly. You leave yourself in a sort of safety net, try to go back in.
चले यार लड़कों गेम पे फोकस करो, गेम पे फोकस
right here, right now, come out, put out some stops. If you could potentially target one of our top teams, especially looking at Tiamba, right, with how they're building themselves, such an early narrative, shut them down, stop them from accumulating point after point, at least for one game. Could be a door open for you and one closed for them. We'll see. Maybe it's more respectful than I'm thinking.
I feel like targeting the top team themselves, maybe not super useful here in the survival stage. That's much more a final strategy because you're aiming for top 6, right?
Doesn't matter, John. You've got to come for the king. You find the biggest man. You shut him down. You get respect for everyone else in the lobby.
Well, we did just see an elimination go through. I believe that was Tiamba actually over towards E-Arena, who have lost one. We've also got
Afridi
through from Dopeness,
no,
which
no,
is
no.
to leave GK alone in Pachinki. So we don't get that hot drop. Over on the east side is where our circle will go, and I'm happy to say it's quite a lot of land in this one.
Yeah, more reasonable, far more reasonable here, what we've got out of this. Some of the games we've had, it's been a super bumpy ride for our teams, and we've seen some great PUBG Mobile mechanically off the back of rotation, at least map geometry.
Yalla, let's go.
It gets a lot more out of these teams. The brains have to be switched on. This, though, should be better for the lobby in general.
Slightly more about
Tamba kill le gaya.
Over with Yangon Galacticos and AG.AL both dropping in the area. AG.AL trying to grab the vehicles. Imagine trying to get across the bridge as fast as possible. The question is, what sort of ammunition does Smile have to play with? Can he catch someone on the cross? Looks for the iron sight spray down with the AKM. There is still more on the menu. There's 2 players in the monster truck try and find their way through. Will they sneak on in? It looks like it's not quite connected to the spray. Some damage there, but the ammo's starting to draw low, and they don't have the scopes to really get the distance on this one. Jackie, I think AG.AL just make bandits on this.
Yeah, get out of there, get away.
Wallah,
no scope attached for max precision, so he can't get it done even when he throws the clip in the AK. Just a spray from far away, John. No one from AG.AL hitting the DCK. It's not even how you spell deck at this point. It's one of those days, John.
No, well, just got to throw an E in there.
That would help.
And it would help, but hasn't helped E-Arena on this drop,
Let's go!
Tiamba were able to get that. They were the team to take them down. Tiamba dropping around that sort of cube compound area, east side of crates, and, well, closer towards the bridges out to the east of South George, and they've rotated now all the way over the north towards Yasnaya, given the circle. Smart, I like it, no notes. Furia out on the west side, fairly uncontested, and we're firmly into the looting phase now.
मुझे क्यों ऐसे लग रहा है अगर Tiamba ने अगर सेफ खेला इनको भारी कीमत चुकाना पड़ेगा मुझे ऐसे लग रहा है वल्ला मुझे ऐसे लग रहा है
Any good at the drums, John?
I have grade 4 drums, which is a qualification in the United Kingdom for our international viewers.
Bloody hell.
It's mediocre at best.
Ah, I see.
You know, Kalaris is a phenomenal drummer.
Is he?
Yeah, he's really good.
Okay,
that's not even a joke. He's very good at drumming.
We'll get him in. We'll send him over to Alpha 7. We'll see if he can do some drumming.
Absolutely. Get him on the paradiddle.
Yeah, we'll patch that one through. We'll get James on the move during the game, don't worry.
Siraj Ali. Fine, thank you.
AlUla looking to drum themselves up a chance in towards those finals. In second place, they've been doing a fine job of it so far with the points they've been able to accrue. Obviously a deep run into that first match. Really notable performance coming through from them. Maybe a little bit too slow in terms of dealing with Tiamba down on that south side of them. But
Magic Bhai, love you. Yaar, thank you,
19
Mohammed.
points. They're still in the top 6 for the time being, as close as it is. However, in Primorsk right now, there's a long road ahead of them to try and make
बता रहा है ना फाइनल कब है ना वो बता रहा है फाइनल कब है ना 14, 15, 16 को आखिरी दिन होगा फाइनल्स के.
Yeah, quicker early moves for some. Others using the availability of a longer, safer rotate. Obviously, this is more the consistent sort of play that we prefer to see from squads like GOAT and Yangon with how they want to approach it. Something you'll all want to see, though, of course, are the amazing weapon skins that we've got going on here with the event that's currently occurring. That Ninetales Fury Org, a beautiful bit of kit, John. You get those variants as it evolves when you use it. Really cool stuff.
A powerful beast, and you want to lock it inside you. You want to keep it and elevate yourselves to find those various levels of different tails. Moving on into your games on PUBG Mobile. FURIA looking to add another tail to their story in these survival stages. 5 teams, well, 5th place rather, on the tables right now. 16 points, very much in the thick of it, as we said, with the points being fairly level when you exclude Tiamba from the top side. FURIA looked fairly dynamic in that last match. And they took agency into their own hands, which I like to see, I really do. So for them on the southwest side, hopefully they can break through, play towards this mansion open area west of prison, this shelter positions as well. A lot of open ground, a lot of rolling hills in this zone. So you need to make sure you get your little patch under control.
FURIA roaming. RRQ potentially going to be in front of their path as well, so could be a chance for a couple pot shots. Overextend on the scout, pulls back quickly enough to get behind them. Do they clash though?
Being fairly civil right now, Jackie, but getting across this road is when they're going to be completely open to each other. But looks like, given that most of the players here are in their own vehicles, unlikely you're going to see that second seat spray down. But Genforce, he's on their tail. I mean, fair enough, you follow them a little bit, try and get some information. In the meantime, GK run into Ulf. This is a route out from Pachinki from that southwest side, and GK have lost one. Aaron on the upstairs looks for more, swaps to the weapon, does a lot of work around the door frame, but the shotgun still ringing in his ears. One round in the air. But Ulf have lost one on the flip side as well. Across the way, Scarface has taken a tumble, and GK are given at least if not better.
Yeah, it would have been hellish for them as well, right? Great game one, at least keeping themselves in an elevated position in the points and the placements. Going into game two, nowhere near as clean. If they had a start here, lost their players.
दो main player Wolf के चले गए.
The face of Ulf as
main player.
They're going to have to play in positions that need a lot more firepower to hold down those those more open areas, the dips around that zone, maybe some of the compounds, the buildings in that area. So you have to
Wolf वाले के दो main player गए.
As the zone coming on through for the next pop for our stage 2 zone. Is it going to be hard? Is it going to be difficult? It's very firmly on the edge there, Jackie. It keeps a lot of land in. We're moving away from Yasnaya Field. We're moving down towards the farm area, the positions east of Potato Hill, and those shelter positions out on the east side, I think are going to cause a lot of problems here, because we've got so many teams on the northeast edge. RRQ are already posted up around that area. It looks like they are retreating a bit, though, but a lot of teams are going to be trying to move in from this northeast side, and it's going to get messy. It's going to.
That's a John Allen guarantee.
I don't joke about mess.
You can trust those. Man, it's been a bit bumpy as well for a squad like 721 GS, right? See a POV here. They had a few games back during the group stage where they were able to sort of harass other teams, still good elims, and have their head on a swivel. I was thinking maybe they'd be able to elevate themselves in a bit of a generally considered weaker lobby where there's opportunities to rise to the occasion. Our top team certainly have. For them, still down towards the bottom side of the pack in 12th place right now. Got to get us a little bit more if they want to keep themselves in it. Wrap over from Tianba as well. They're going to be on the move down. Can it be the Free Peats already eating good today? 47 points in this game. So far ahead compared to the next close squad, which is that tied second podium position between AlUla and GOAT. So they're really coming out to play.
It was 108 points was the record set by Vitality in a single day.
Yep.
And I feel like I brought that up maybe slightly too early in the day, but if you're on 45 points in 2 matches, simple multiplication will tell you that you're going to get there, right? You would need a little bit more on this game. It's safe to say, but still, like you said, in the position in the northeast side, they're fairly isolated. They can maybe chill out a little bit. I thought it was going to be the northeast side that was going to be a little bit messy, but that seems to have rotated down and split around the prison. Instead, the positions to the north of Milta are going to be much more chock-a-block. with our players moving out the Wolves from Milta past Kiwoom DRX, sorry, who did actually rotate over the water into Milta, which was quite interesting. They were able to jump on in and
Malik, welcome, salam, Adi, welcome.
Out wide, AG.AL, who went across that bridge early on, of course, going to that
Wolfie bhi bhai apne play ho chuki hai.
now slung into a
Aana ho
solid
gayi.
position, but it was Kiwoom DRX who were the team to sort of divert them on that part.
I think for KRX as well, right? This is sort of the middle portion of the day where you're thinking, okay, guys, got to lock in a little bit here, get a bit more energy, some wind back under the sails. They want to push for more. Locked in last place right now in the overall standings. Not the dream whatsoever. We'll see as the zone comes in as well if there's going to be any benefit here, if it pulls up more so towards that north side. No. All right, not too bad in terms of the positioning for some of our more central squads.
June मेरे ख्याल से open में रहेगा.
Self set up early. There's only Dopeness that were in amongst the split of two players from either side. Ulf near there, Furia instantly rotating off the confirmation of the zone, and Tiamba pushing down as well.
From that east side, look how many teams are moving around that Ulf position. Dopeness just about snaking their way over the top of this one. Remember, Ulf only on 2 players, so really can't do too much to stop this. They're just going to have to hope that they can win.
Whoa.
On the southeast edge, it looks like
DRX versus
a tough time
A7
things against Alpha 7, as 2 of them have already gone down. And there's really not much more for them to do here. Hoxie wants to try and hold his nerve in the face of Alpha 7, but they haven't lost a player yet, and they're not about to start now. Carrillo able to find the final shot, and there's a burn down on the last player.
Oh, Bolso!
I think that's by far the cleanest take we've seen of a compound from Alpha 7 today. They get that one done, John, but it doesn't end.
Oh,
That proverbial dinner bell that's baited over RRQ. So for Alpha 7, they'll have to keep on fighting. Furia pushing over as well with AG.AL in their line of sight. Height to play with, so at least advantage from that. Leo has limited meds as well. He's going to be able to
come back up. वाला नहीं मालूम जब देखते हैं हीरो वेलकम वालेकुम सलाम रज़वान अली वेलकम वालेकुम सलाम
good bit of open distance, so if that peels off
14 16 को
peek out towards the road, just assess the situation, see if there's room for a couple quick shots.
I feel like they're going to be okay for the time being, but with Wolves moving in from the east side, that could potentially force Furia to crunch in and lose influence. But are the Wolves going to stop there, or are they going to try and keep going a little bit deeper into the zone? I feel like they're going to be more of a problem for AG.AL on this situation. And indeed, they do head further and further west, getting out of dodge. So Furia can continue their presence. And the Wolves actually managed to get through fairly securely. They are only playing as 3, but doing okay, I think it's safe to say. And right on top of the final player from Dopeness as well. Try and make your way into the center of the zone. I'm surprised that the Wolves have gotten as far as they have here, Jackie, because it was a kind of crazy thread through all of this. It was probably helped by the fact that
Alpha 7
were a little bit isolated away on that fight,
top
so they just
6
moved
में
over
आना है
the
भाई.
side of the ridges that sat there.
ये वर्ल्ड कप जीते थे लास्ट साल, पिछले साल यही जीते थे वर्ल्ड कप.
Could be a good reposition for Alpha 7 as well. Last time we saw them, of course, they had that great injection back over towards KRX, cleaned up on the compound. Then they were briefly met by IRQ that bailed out on that one. Alpha 7 chasing down Yangon, at least one of their players. They're going to get away. Zone crunching further in again as well. Dead center set up right now from Nonshin. Red Force haven't had to move for quite some time.
And they got 4 of their players alive as well. This is pretty decent news for Tiamba, although that less so. They have taken a knock onto QZZ on that eastern side with RRQ bearing down upon them. In the meantime, Furia and AG.AL starting to come to the forefront of the fighting. As there's 1, there's 2 knocks as well. A flush coming through from Igors. And the nades can't quite repel them, can't quite rebuff them in time. And
push aa gaya.
Trying to stand against an onslaught from Furia. This is tough stuff. XCZ also feeling the brunt of pressure. I think that might be an off angle coming through from Yangon Galacticos. And what can you do? A nade over the back does tag, but doesn't quite get a flush or another knock.
Yeah, just a bit of chip damage. Not enough to punish him with. Chief going to step back up with one of his own as well. Dashes into AG.AL. That's more what you're looking for. Now they can compress in and try and collapse upon the squad.
AG.AL out.
AG.AL going down swiftly as
Wolf
they will
out.
lose out. Removed from the equation here as FURIA are still standing.
On that south side, lining the roadside now. Well, more of a path, really, if we're honest, but we'll be able to use that ridge line that was protecting the Wolves on their rotate, potentially to launch themselves forwards, but I don't think they can do it fully just yet. Instead,
not coming slow, my friend, not coming slow.
West and east as well. Alpha 7 rolling over, trying to take on the other Brazilian side. We're not quite getting fully stuck in just yet, Jackie. They're calming things down. And hit the deck, belt buckles, meeting dirt.
A lot of noise in the arena right now. Here at the Kadir City grid, it's been getting pretty fiery with the energy coming out in support of Alpha 7. Meanwhile, GOAT team taking some shots. That's a pop off from the fans over in Yangon's corner, and rightly so. First elim on the board there for Smile.
They want to hunt for more. There are goats out to the west.
E-Arena.
Find them.
E-Arena.
And AlUla now coming into conflict. Remember, E-Arena losing a player on the drop, so they are as three, and 3 players from AlUla bearing down upon them. A 4th to join them pretty swiftly too. Nades not quite connecting on the first form of the hold, but 2 immediate knocks come through. Matches are brutal and coordinated. 2 now players for AlUla on the back side of this fight, but there is a 3rd party from Go Up the Hill, R3B, now the last to stand for AlUla, and E-Arena hold their nerve with a beautiful 1-2 punch to kick things off, and a lovely shutdown from Turner. The final elim there was no way to get into that compound.
No, not for love nor money. Couldn't brute force.
Goat wale aa gaye E-Arena pe.
In the back line.
Goat wale aa gaye.
Representative, the solo, a force arms the nade through the doorway to try and deal damage. That's going to be the spread from the molly, making it uncomfortable. Another one bounces just off the periphery, trying to thread the needle. A further Molotov goes in, keeping them guessing. 3 nades in the back pocket as well to cycle those over. E-Arena sat, just hoping this shrapnel won't end them as they cower in the building.
More nades being layered on down here from Force. In the meantime, players around them looking to move away from this fight because the circle's gone southeast and you do need to get out. A bounce on the final nade. And in he goes. The DBS in hand. Can't even connect on the first. And E-Arena stay alive as 3. They have to get a move on though, Jackie. They've got 30 seconds. A little bit less now to move before this zone is going to shut them out.
मर्द का बच्चा निकला भाई घुसा
as well to get over there, so it's not an easy pathway for them.
Game battle, walaikum salam.
The solo representative of Go team there having it all blow up in his face. Ironic after how many nades he throws, but it is what it is.
Manur Ansari.
Arena. If you thought you'd finally have a safe exit path, no chance to egress yet. As
Drink
DK
water,
come
bro.
back in for even more. 5 nades in the back pocket. Let's see if he can do better than Goat on these.
Let's go, Geek.
Smoke out as well to provide some semblance of cover for them. Easy for Bad Boy trying his luck. They're low, they're trapped. I mean, they're going to be ushered out by the zone. You've got Cycloud up on top as well for Yangon with potential chance on the periphery. Are they even going to get out here, John? They try and jump in the vehicle.
They got a lot of distance already. 2 players from E-Arena moving away. Schweppes may be the sacrificial lamb. They have a vehicle that they stowed earlier or were aware of earlier. Geek are taking shots from the off angle. I mean, Geek are spending a lot of time outside of the zone to try and make this one happen. The fact that they and they're taking shots from a 3rd party.
Easy lega kya?
Nasty. Schweppes may be able to hop into a vehicle and get into this one, depending on what sort of stim condition he's in and if he's taken too much damage. But I feel like Geek may have overcommitted to it for it, and instead they're losing by quite a long way.
Yeah, I mean, you can see the knock-on effect, right? Smile just being able to third-party onto this with the backup of Cycloud further ahead. So for E-Arena, been trapped for so long. Every time they get past one squad, another one comes over to punish them once again. So they're farming points off the back of this with Mormon going down to the play zone. Schweppes barely pushed out.
Yeah, Thamba wale nazar hi nahi aa rahe.
Survivor left for Geek. Fragmented off the back of their engagement. Results in the last man falling to dopeness.
Ooh, north side, 7-2-1. GS and Tiamba going
Boom!
toe right now. Tiamba don't seem to have anything in the back.
Smile not coming slow. Smile.
Left standing.
Young G. Smile.
Our top team finally take a tumble. With 3 elims, they'd be going down with just the 1 placement point. He's trapped out in the blue. Behind the shack.
Tambaka.
First aid and the smokes are there. Might be able to dart forwards, but he's already taking a lot of damage and the blue zone's right up top. It's gonna take. Gets the final blow. He's able to take it down. Oh, it's actually the play zone. So it was the play zone tick to take down Tiamba. 3 elims, couple points. They're up to 49 now. Still a very hefty total.
Tiamba
cut short the storyline of a triple from Tiamba, but does open the door for other squads to raise themselves higher up in the standings now. Potentially a game where FURIA could keep some of this good trend we've seen going. Nonshin Red Force, they've been pretty blessed by the circle crunches we've had over the course of this one. Haven't realistically had to vie too much for control. Still got good compound setup as well.
I feel like this north side could potentially be quite leverageable for a deep run into the game. It may not be a winning position, but it would have been brilliant for Tiamba if they'd been able to hold it to convert another strong game. They lost the player earlier on, though, to RRQ, and I feel like that was kind of the major changing point, that inflection point for the squad. Losing that one player, they lost the ability to have the full force resistance against a full crash that came through from 721 GS. And if they'd had 4 players, I think that would have been a different story. And they could have been the ones on this north side looking to line everyone up as they roll forwards.
Sight for sore eyes for the Alpha 7 fans, you'd imagine as well. Still alive in this game right now. They have the 5 elims to their name. Ooh, Ravo with a peek out. That's the hovercraft gone, and one more member of Yangon Galacticos, taking them down to a triple threat with a backdoor assault as well from FURIA onto the sightline. Getting a bit more scary.
Landing not quite on top, goes a little bit too far there. Igors wants to try and connect, but I mean the damage is pouring in from FURIA, from Alpha 7, and Yangon Galacticos are trapped. There's nowhere for them to go. There is no easy way to move forward. I think that might be the arena out as well in the meantime. Up in second place on the overall standings. FURIA, I think now guaranteed to be surpassing them. Yangon Galacticos want to try and stop them though at this point, and they send straight over the top. FURIA are going to have to face off, but Yangon Galacticos not quite able to punch through. Igor's still left down in the dirt. The drop down's just too strong. Yangon cannot get it done.
For now, and looking damn good whilst doing it too, but you've got to get your man back up. He's been a huge part of the roster, but taking shots from RRQ might cut that storyline short for them and leave them in a worse position. It's good damage. Here's the push up though. Oh, the nade over from Chief. The spear of FURIA strikes into RRQ.
And there go the rounds, finding that flush as well. There is a knock over onto Igor's, the flush coming through, and AG.AL does go down as well. Silence trying to make a break for it. Out wide, can't quite connect with the front bumper, but draws some fire, gives some protection, makes a little distraction. Chief is going to fall, and RRQ are going to win out on this trade. In the meantime, a massive flex out coming from Red Force. Really timely to get involved. And will be able to clip the wings of Alpha 7 somewhat, losing at least one. But there is a knock, there is a response. However, Obscure also takes that tumble. Could potentially
buy one, get one free. Buy one, get one free.
And Lapar
buy one, get one free.
They've got the hillside peak onto it. Ravo exposed from the
buy one, get one free.
Looking good. Oh, it's an easy takedown as well onto Obscure that was knocked prior.
Buy one, get one free.
Left to play with for Alpha 7. They're not going to be remaining alive for much longer.
Garillo, heal up.
From Nonshin was well timed and well executed. Carrillo, all that remains. Oh, barely missing on the driver. Trying to bonnet in with a vehicle. Firing off warning shots, but that's all they are, just warnings, as they're gone again. out in 4th place.
Oh
on this
my
one.
yes,
3 squads remaining.
RRQ.
What a timing on that for Nongshim Red Force as well.
721 GS. Oh my yes.
It gets rid of Alpha 7, and
NS.
it felt like maybe they were going to lose 1 or 2 players there, but the RRQ peak over the ridgeline kept Nongshim safe, and they have managed to get that res, get back to their compound, and back
721 GS Zoom.
RRQ are going to have to make
go.
a dash
Let's
here.
check what's gonna go. What's gonna happen?
Licking their lips right now with how they played
देखते
this
क्या
one.
होता है.
Early game was good.
लेके देखो.
Weren't really contested too much.
एक क्या
RRQ getting hit by the zone as well, so it's just getting messy out there.
इनका जगह बिल्कुल परफेक्ट है.
They're playing a they're already sprayed out in the open. Another knock sent their way, and 721 GS want to take down the player on the south side. Rayan should have angles on this, but there are shots being fired back. Nongshim Red Force do have the toe sight, and we'll be able to.
NS versus
That's going to leave
721 GS.
A 4 versus 3.
4 versus 3. चलो देखते हैं.
Against
दोनों जोर में, दोनों जोर
in
में,
this spot for the longest time.
दोनों जोर में देखते हैं क्या होता है.
721 GS had some moments of greatness in the group stage. It feels like if they want to try and revitalize themselves and prove that they can go further, fight for an opportunity into finals, this is a game they need to win to get themselves
Yeah, by the way, ये टीम भी
headspace.
अच्छी है.
For Nongshim, it's more that consistent force.
नीचे से ऊपर आई थी,
A
मालूम
team
है?
that we know can go
Survivor
above and
Series में.
beyond in a position to do just that,
721,
with the
yes.
advantage of not only their position, but the numbers as well. Battle of attrition on their side, John.
This is a jump up to 2nd place on the cards for Nongshim Red Force. And for 721 GS, it's a chance to try and join closer towards the top 6. Early doors on the tournament does mean there is incredible amounts of volatility on the tables.
रहीम जाएगा.
And Nongshim would love to try and rise above
बगी है
that.
उसके
That's
पास.
exactly what they're looking to do here. TC with the flex out, even though the monster truck's gone up in smoke, is brilliant because there's still 2 players who have to crest this ridge, who have to get across the road for 721 GS. And when they do, it's open season. Nongshim are going to be on the hunt.
अरे एक प्लेयर जोर में बाकी पीछे हैं.
Some great
एक
reactions
प्लेयर
out
जोर
of them
में
as well.
बाकी पीछे हैं.
So if it comes to a
उनके
fair
भी.
fight,
अबे
I feel
जोर
like I've
उन
got
पे
to
आ
back into
गया.
some of the angles we've seen, man. A lot
जोर
of
उन पे
talent.
आ गया.
Gun plays through the roof
NS
right now
वालों
for this
पे.
team. Coaching staff watching on as well.
अरे टीम
Fingers
टीम
crossed,
अप
hoping
कर
for
रहे
a
हैं.
result for the squad. Seems like there's still a decent amount of utility left in the back pockets there for
तारिक
721.
वालेकुम सलाम.
It's going to be the
असगर
smokes
गेमिंग
over,
वालेकुम सलाम.
create a pathway, smoke wall up on the roadside. Vehicle to play with for the rotate.
Do they have to cover though? Can they get there safely? The cannons start to fire. The nades are pouring in from TZ on that off angle. They know that he is a vulnerable position for Nongshim Red Force. So if they can get into nade range of him, that might
What's
change
going
the
on, my friend?
Red Force also do need to move forwards. They haven't managed to deal a blow to strike a player down on that crossing. So
Boom!
they need to go a little bit more bread and butter.
Thing is, if they're thinking Tizzy's the vulnerability, I think in reality he might be the volatility they need to open this one up. You expose yourself for even a second, that off angle, he's so damn crisp with it, he's going to be punishing you towards the side. His nades as well, every time just eating away at them, draining out some of that additional medical utility. That circle's going to start to crunch him. Really going down to the wire on this one.
Nongshim do have the more central position with their forward spots here. Not too sure how many nades are in the back pocket for 721 GS, but XZY launches one forwards. Doesn't quite go the distance. TZ also lobbing it on in. The volley starts to come on through. Remember, the numbers are still in the advantage of Nongshim Red Force. Oh, that looked quite good. That was from Hyunbin on the back lines. TZ starts to move and Alico clips him, immediately shutting him down. A really good opener, but there's a nade in response, and Hyunbin connects again. Up in the sky. Alico's going to be forced out wide, but no one's looking. No one's ready for it. The flush comes through to Malik, and it's a 2v3.
Scary scenes off the back of that. Panic stations. Fumbles with an 8. That's the last one, dashed in towards Nongshim, hoping to deal some decent damage. Instantly peppered by these. Molotov goes over as well.
Grenade.
Just decent damage, but
अबे
no
क्या दिमाग है?
Count Rahan falls. This isn't looking great now. Down to a solo, trapped in an awkward angle. Shots over. Can't quite find it. It's not enough as Nonshin see red and get that one done.
This is good
The
game, good
aggression
game.
pays off. Taking the chicken dinner in game 3.
Some really timely maneuvers coming through from Nongshim Red Force. That flex
यार
up to
ये
the south
full
with the
panic
duel
scene
had
था
an
उनका,
impact on the
panic
fight
scene था यार.
with Alpha 7 was
अगर
so
आप
important.
ऐसा
RRQ as
panic
well
scene
were forced to stay on the
handle
south
नहीं
side.
कर पाते
The
हो
subsequent
तो-
circle shift all the way up to the north does help them out immensely, but even if it had gone south, they
Lekin
had
well
that
played.
outpost. They had that opportunity to move
La,
forward.
la, la,
They
Paresh
chose
Taban,
their
Taban.
timing perfectly, and every single step, it felt like they were in
Tabane,
control. It
Tabane,
felt like they knew what
Tabane.
they were doing, and they had a backup plan in
Situation
case it
अच्छा
didn't
था,
go to.
okay scene था, बिल्कुल tough
Good sign
scene
to
था.
life there. A team that again, you know, we
आपने
know can rise to the occasion.
जो पत्थर के पीछे था उसको नॉक किया. यहाँ पे आपको पोजीशन चेंज करना था
Really
लेकिन
love that one split where they pushed out as well, right? That was kind of a pivotal play where you saw not only are they happy to just play with their cards close to their chest, but if they need to split off, take aggression to a team that, if got far into that game, like Alpha 7, we know they're very volatile. They can make big plays. You've silenced that early. You've not left it in their hands, John, which makes a big difference for them.
Absolutely. I mean, you take away agency from other teams, you're going to be in a much more predictable scenario. You're going to be able to find those paths to victory much easier. Even if you have a little bit more of a branching diagram, right? You are aware of exactly where you need to be going. Triple thumbs up. Not going to get the fourth.
यार ये रेड फोर्स मुझे ये NS रेड फोर्स मुझे इतनी खास टीम नहीं लगती है. वल्ला इतनी खास टीम नहीं है.
Third game, 3 thumbs. It's basic maths, John.
The numbers are great. They have been crunched.
ये लंबो टिंगू लंबो टिंगू चोटू पतलू
obviously in that compound
यार
for a
ऐसे
very long time. They didn't need to make a lot of decisions during the mid game, which was really quite safe for them. It was very homely, I'm sure. So good news on that front, but it does take
on
a really
16
strong
bro
team to
for
not get super comfortable in that. And
14
that's kind
अगस्त
of why I'm
15
focusing
अगस्त
so much
16
on the
अगस्त को
flex out to
मैचेस
the
होंगे.
south, right? Because it means that they were permanently, constantly, unrelentingly thinking, when do we go? Where do we go? Who are we targeting? What are we going to achieve with a flex out? That sort of thought line
15-16
is exactly what we want to see from
हाँ,
a team
15-16
looking to
हाँ.
make their bid to get in the finals and a chance to win that oh so special trophy.
It's a beautiful bit of kit, an amazing trophy, obviously the pride of it as well. Taking the event, putting your emblem inside the middle portion there that you can see is currently open for any of our teams.
Hamza, thank you. 804, thank you.
Of a previous champion doing it again.
Salman Baloch, alaikum salam.
Tomorrow, John. That
Yeah,
chance for not one of our
main चीज जो टॉप क्लास के प्लेयर है ना वो आ जाए ऊपर. वो है GG's well played. फाइनल में मजा आएगा. देखते हैं अभी वॉल्फ क्या करेंगे. मैजिक भाई वर्ल्ड फाइनल कभी स्टार्ट होगा. 15-16 सलमान 15 और 16 को फाइनल्स होंगे. वैस खान सलाम ब्रदर यू डोंट रिप्लाई ऑन टिकटॉक. यार टिकटॉक पे तो मैं सबको रिप्लाई तो दे रहा हूँ मिस्टर जेरी. अब कब होंगे स्टार्ट यार. अभी 5 मिनट में स्टार्ट होंगे. वालेकुम सलाम. ये वन ऑफ द बेस्ट क्लच था. ये वन ऑफ द बेस्ट पबजी मोबाइल का क्लच था. 3 चिकन डिनर किए थे इन लोगों ने, दाव वालों ने. इंशाल्लाह इंशाल्लाह इंशाल्लाह. ये भी थांबा का बड़ा ऑसम सीन था चिकन किया था लोगों ने Oh my yes
上的这些战队，然后做一个评级。来，你们现在看上哪个 logo 了？先来一个 godlike，
跟颜色
就意思是 C 是吗？OK。Alpha
7
7吧。Alpha 7。
Alpha 7 B 啊。
我没说话，刚才说的。今年，刚才说的。
知道。
好，下一位 AG.AL
AG.AL D
这个往上点，这个
YG
这个呢 YG
这个 S
Aurora
C
下一个
F
这个 F 很配啊，这个。
哎，
给个 B 吧，
给个 B 吧。
好，接下来 Aurora 老熟人，
给 S 吧，
这个 S 啊。
好
Aurora 哦，
这个不是很猛吗
？40
中间呗。
A 呀 S 不对 A 呀 S
没事啊，下面也很
就凭人家是冠军，行。
SD 的भाई साहब
给到 B。
OK， 这个放哪儿
？F， 这个放到一把高那个 S 突击1等就行了，压他一头够了啊。
只需要压他一头。接下来
这个给到康吧。
康。
哇，这 S 有点太多了。
这个
来排个
这个 A 吧
弟弟。
小蜜蜂。
那 B 跟 A 的中间呗
，B 跟 A 的中间，我觉得 A 比 S 还要珍贵啊！现在
马上就来了
，EA 来了
，A
必须得 A 啊，
因为它是带 A 是吧？
这个直接
这个怎么说
？S 加，必须是压那个 Aurora 跟黑豹一头，稍微挪一下，
挪到一边。哦，懂你意思。
这个更别说了。
这个呢，龙息。
刚 S 刚有一个空位啊。
NGX
给个
A 吧。
接下来 Hora
给个 D 吧。
反正现在每个等级都有。
Aurora यार Aurora अच्छी टीम है यार。
要变的了。
是的。
那这就是我们
Aurora एटलीस्ट A में होना चाहिए。
的评级了，不知道大家怎么看呢？
दा Aurora है B नहीं C ऊपर होना चाहिए यार क्या हो रहा है भाई
Where am I?
Oh my yes Naruto यार एज अ होस्ट क्या क्या करना पड़ता है यार वल्ला क्या क्या करना पड़ता है ये देखो
Sim Red Force with an amazing gameplay in that last game, having to do pretty much absolutely nothing throughout the first half of the game, and then afterwards actually being proactive about it.
Yeah, I mean, Nocturne Red Force dropping Razen Shurikens all over the place here on Orangle. Very excited to see a win, but despite that being a win, it was not a very impressive win because they dropped farm. They literally played there the entire game. It was kind of a gifted game for them, but you know what? I'll take it. If it gets me an opportunity to see them in the finals, I'm biased. I don't care. It's a win.
You know what? You heard it here first.
What?
Folks, but, oh, and there he goes again.
That was so fast. I don't know
so
who it was.
Speedy. Who is that?
Who was that, bud? It was me.
He doesn't know either. It's fine. It's fine.
What is this segment, by the way?
Just a fun segment. Welcome to PMWC at EWC 26. What were you going to say, Natura?
No, I was just going to say, yes, they were heavily gifted this win. Heavily. However, Tizzy, being that anchor point, is what won them the game. And I will say that you are looking at a team that knows how to play this game. That's all I gotta say, right? Because Tizzy moving up to that rock, making sure that he's that anchor point, allowing his teammates to push forward into nade range onto 721, so that even when Tizzy did get knocked, it didn't matter. The game was already won. So that kind of synergies, that kind of gameplay was really, really nice to see, and it made it more of a win than just being gifted that win. They made that win happen.
They did make that win happen. TC with the off angle. angles, and then 7-1 helping them out by just absolutely fumbling a nade. If you do all that kind of stuff, you'll definitely be able to get a win. But you were asking, what is this segment? Let me just give a quick reminder of what's going on. This is the fan zone experience for PUBG Mobile lovers. So make sure you guys come check it out. As I said earlier, open August 11th through the 16th. You can come here, maybe get some cool Naruto bandanas, maybe get some extra swag, check out some of the other collaborations currently going on, and with some prizes. But what, you got that one from here?
Yes.
Oh my goodness, this man is swagged out.
It's mine, don't touch it.
But Barney, while we have you here, when you come into survival stage, we usually have to talk about the mentality of some of these players, right? Because there is no second chance after this one. It is make it to top 6 or go home. And some of those squads are currently making sure they put them that performance here on survival stage.
It's true, yeah, as your hat comes flying off your head. I think that one of the things to take note of the most is the mentality coming into the survival stage is very different. Now, we're seeing teams like Tiamba who only managed to get 49 points in the group stage. However, coming off the back of that, like they've already managed to conquer those 49 points in the space of 3 games out of the 12. So it's really impressive to see the adjustments made coming into the survival stage, and I think AlUla managed to put their best foot forward, but they kind of tapered off a little bit. But the team to focus on right now is kind of Alpha 7. They're moving with hesitation. They're not moving with confidence, so the synergy is slightly off. It seems like they keep getting themselves in a pinch, and this is what was causing them issues in the group stage as well. So Neptura, I think that Alpha 7 needs to step it up a gear, or at least move with some sort of confidence.
I agree, and I also want to point out FURIA as well as another team that I want to see step up a little bit. They're doing better, but it's just not the same. That it was a very weird push around from Silence to be coming over into that vehicle, moving away from his team just as they're getting pushed and trying to come back for a distraction thing. But really, the better option would have been an off angle. We should have seen Silence able to have an off angle play and then try and help his teammates. In the way he kind of abandoned them, that's what it felt like. And so I want to see that sort of tactic being shaped up a little bit to actually help them, not hinder them.
I gotta say though, looking at the end of this game, especially with the replay, it's 7-2-1 sure don't get themselves the chicken dinner, but the smokes to deny vision from all of Mountain Red Force as they tried to leave their own compound. Again, that they've had pretty much the entirety of this game was very impressive. So 7-2-1, despite not getting a win, very excited to see if they can do more in the next coming games.
Yes, we're looking at the
Tamba
right now. You can see Tiamba,
Red
the performance
Force
at the top there. Nongshim Red Force with
FURIA,
they do end up jumping up.
RRQ, E-Arena, God.
That I'm happy to see here is none other than FURIA and RRQ.
Yeah, very impressive stuff. RRQ in particular, team that
FURIA.
Here, the entry point to the eastern side, it was very easy for them to hold it because no one even tried to contest it away from them the entire time. But their third party on the likes of FURIA, Yangon Galacticos, Alpha 7 was absolutely beautiful. Then the Circle had a different plan in mind, which is forcing them downhill, which as we saw there, it's really hard for them to make it work out. So overall, very happy with them. And Miramar in particular, I need to see some RRQ presence.
Yeah, we need to see some RRQ actually. They ended up doing a cool rotation a little bit towards the end of the game where they ended up going south. It seemed like they were going to be a bit too passive, but then we saw the aggressiveness out of them. And I'm loving that we're getting more people, more stuff from PUBG Mobile just joining us here. Gotta close it. How's your day going? Pew, pew. Okay, cool. Hey, that's what's up, man.
I'll tell you what, though, I've got to say, a team to look out for today is GOAT Team. They're one of those teams that will consistently be putting up numbers in every single game. There's nothing flashy about them. They will always just keep putting up numbers, though.
But they've only got 3 placement points, which is very interesting. So more eliminations are good, but I want to see more like top 5 finishes. If they do that, Barney, agreed, they are a very scary team.
Aggressiveness. That's what it is with that team. They're going to be able to see it. Barney, I think you have something to do after this one, so... Oh, and he's gone. Well, thanks for joining us, Barney. Hopefully you have fun at this stage. I'm pretty sure we'll be seeing you there shortly. He could have just done the, what's the name of that jutsu, Max? Where you just end up appearing?
Shadow clone jutsu, you want to do? Like you create yourself a clone of yourself and you disappear?
Hey, we did that for the PUBG Mobile guy. They were able to kind of show up here.
Play an unknown jutsu right now. Look at that.
Any teams that have surprised you today, Natura, besides the obvious ones?
For me, Yangon. The Yangon are back to their day one of the group stage that we saw. I was saying they have a lot more presence, and so far over the last few games, we have seen that return after their second day where they just were non-existent again. Really liked how they played the southeast side there, 7. They were were really, really heavy on those splits. SayCloud moving over to, who was it? Who was going over there? The EA GOAT fight off onto the western side. He was monitoring that fight, regrouping, trying to make a push happen. So very, very sort of aggressive in that mentality, aggressive in that gameplay, even if it's not super.
What is it? I want to see the match!
Honestly, it's a defending champion. PMWC. I would like to see them in the finals just because we haven't gotten a chance to see them at all since the last PMWC when we talk about PUBG Mobile Esports global event. And one team that's actually surprising us in a bad way here, Max, and we have to talk about them.
No.
No,
yeah, it's pretty bad. But genuinely, look at their rotations. They get not terrible positions, but the main issue is, this is something that is a main issue for Ulf going into all of their tournaments. They're a team that sometimes they go dead center of the circle, but they're not super playable. See them around a tree or teams have a point of contention around you. They spot an angle on your entire squad. They get instantly eliminated. I kind of want to see Ulf play a bit more edge. I feel like edge playstyle is actually what suits Ulf the best. And that's what we saw from him back in PMGC last year, even PMGO Season 1 in Jakarta. They were getting so many points because of that edge playstyle. Center here, if it's not a solid position, like I'm talking, it's not a compound, they're just going to get decimated right away. And Ulf, in a lobby of this caliber 7, we know you're going to struggle if you don't have a good spot to play from.
Which is crazy too because it's usually one of those
Big
teams
fan. Thank you, Rahman. Thank you. एक दफा लिखते हैं, एक दफा लिखते हैं, दो, तीन, चार, पांच बार नहीं लिखते, एक दफा बस.
How we've seen them in the past is not working for them.
Yeah, exactly, and I think it's the same with FURIA when you're talking about that edge play, that edge rotation.
Tell Habibi,
they're not being as aggressive as the lobby is demanding, and that's the real problem
Bad
here.
boy.
Because they want to play slowly.
Sir G, salam alaikum. Walaikum salam, Sir G. SQ Magic Bhai. Price baat nahi hai.
Of day one survival stage here at
I have been.
PMWC 26, but I'm wanting to watch the game, so we're just gonna send it over to Barney.
मैं आपका वीडियो भी देखता हूँ. Thank you, Rahman.
Back we are, the survival stage. What a survival
Raheem, thank you, Raheem.
Just survive
Top
with the minimum you can have.
Thank you, Top.
Surviving with the minimum, that's interesting. Okay, Luti, I'd like to ask you, how long do you think you'd be able to survive, like, on this stage, just by yourself? What would you need?
Oh, मत करो ऐसे, time out मिलेगा.
4 days, I just need a little bit of food, I guess. Yeah, something like that.
Okay, you got food, you get one other thing. What else
Only
did you
one?
have? Yeah, one.
I mean, just a bottle of waters.
Big fan, sir.
It appears like your dreams have come true.
Yeah, that's cool.
It is
SQ
cool, isn't
by
it?
price
I'll see you
बात
tomorrow, mate.
QC
Enjoy.
send करो, ठीक है.
But Bonnie, it was just a metaphor.
चप्पल से अभी कमर में चप्पल तेरा मैं वो करूँगा,
Okay, I will figure out.
चिपकाऊँगा.
Back to you, casters. I need another one.
What?
Bonnie!
Let's get it going as we're getting ready for the final 3 matches of day 1 of the survival stage. I'm on Jukes here with my man Blake, and we are ready to go here.
Let's go!
Pretty good time so far, Tiamba. Currently,
Yes,
they are
hitting everybody with that forbidden jutsu. You know what I'm talking about?
If you know, you know.
If you know, you know, because they are dominating the lobby. It's about time, man. I mean, Tiamba was a team I had going into this one, automatic lock to the finals. To even see them here in the survival stage has been pretty wild to me. But it's about time we see them make it happen here.
Yeah, bro. I mean, I think for Tiamba, this is already a fantastic start. They just need to keep on working, keep on grinding. I think right now QZ's kind of feeling it. So is Milu. Milu's doing wonderful work. I think Maxim was rightly highlighting him earlier on in the day. We are getting in towards our 4th match though, hitting up Erangel. We are
This is Ghazi, walaikum salam.
down towards the south and over
Dada on top, walaikum salam.
to work with here, Hot Jukes, but we have
Zoya
pretty
Queen,
much
walaikum salam.
disgusting playing pairs followed by disgusting circles the entirety of EWC 2026 here at PMWC. So I didn't expect anything less.
Thank you, walaikum salam.
These zones have just been relentless. It's unbelievable. You know what? But it's all about being able to adapt, able to make those plays.
Thank you, thank you.
Make it happen. So we're looking right now at the overall ranking. We're only looking at top 6. It's top 6 that move on. Everybody else is going home here. So right now that cutoff is going to be GOAT with 22 points. It's going to be really up to these teams down
Alhamdulillah,
below.
मैं ठीक हूँ, आप लोग कैसे हो? Welcome. चलो game पे focus, game पे focus.
Already burned through the bad games that they can have.
If there's anything to go by our previous groups, though.
Let's go.
Roughly.
Yaar, no kill.
I think for what we saw going into top 5,
no kill, 10 kill, 10
we were looking at 95.
damage.
There was that point sponge over at the top side in Vitality, though. So
4 matches,
maybe
3 matches.
85 to 90 points overall for 6th, and it goes up from there. Right now, Tiamba, they're pretty close to hitting that. They need like 40 more points on the day, which is ridiculous next 3 games for any team. But they could lock themselves in fairly easily. At the end of the day, and that really does take a lot of the stress off.
Check karo, game check karo.
Get right now, he's fantastic.
Ab dekho Wolfie kya karegi, dekho.
Over towards Yaz. It's an early dropout as well, so they get very looted very quickly. Then it's a case of just figuring your way out over towards the western edge. But there are a couple more teams. RQ, for instance. Goodness me, good job to them. I think that although they haven't been massively loud in these games,
top 6 participate,
rotates, some good presence in these endgame circles. Nothing insane just yet, but I think for RQ this feels like a much more comfortable ride. You know, we got the suspension going at the moment for RQ. Let's just keep that happening. Let's stay on the smooth roads.
Yeah, speaking of, you know what? Where we're going,
roads.
You can see Yasser already getting in the glider off the rip here. He's going to be keeping an eye over Severny. But you know what? You guys need to make sure you keep an eye in game and get that Uzumaki Naruto event going. Get that Ninetales Fury AUG. You definitely want to get your hands on that before it is gone. And you can see Yasser, he said, okay, I got the glider, I got my Murado, we are ready to go here.
Yeah, no reason to stick around much longer. I mean, they made a quick approach over towards Severny, get yourself the loot truck if you can. It's going to be a little bit late for it, but they should be all right. For AlUla, though, Severny, a lot of options towards the future.
Yeah, quick kill disconnector.
Towards fields, Gakaway, Pachinki. So they do have to shove through quite a few teams that have laid
quick kill disconnector. Udhar bhi light jati hai kya?
The top side of Rozok and beyond. That's Yasnaya. Beyond is Yasnaya ruined.
Bhai, answer do, bhai.
Everyone knows that.
Yaar, bhai, maine aapko answer diya, bhai.
It is the classic. So, I mean, this is kind of a... It's good to see a more normal-ish circle here. About time.
Thank you, always. Thank you.
Yeah, it's about time we actually see one here. So I think these teams are kind of breathing a sigh of relief. And now it's time for, to kind of get rid of any excuses, especially for these teams down that bottom 8 to really start playing catch-up here. Because Rondo has just been proving that map, that it's just such a wild card for all these squads. We saw a 39-point game for E-Arena in just one single one. So, yeah, teams at the bottom could have a crazy pop-off match, but a team at the top can do it as well. So, I think if you have the opportunity, like a normal circle here, you got to take advantage of it.
Wallah, mujhe lagta hai uski light gayi aur disconnect tha.
Time to be going for something a little bit more casual, a little bit more chilled out. For Wolves, hey, you're not their biggest fan at the moment, which is totally understandable. It's understandable. It's totally understandable. There has been some, let's say, minor mistakes here and there from Wolves, but this is a good start for them. And I think it always has been difficult as time goes on.
Awais Khan, मैं reply दे रहा हूँ. अभी जो बंदा spam करेगा उसको time out मिलेगा. चलो.
Idea of how to play that at a lobby this level, you are going to get caught out. But this is a big chance. Now for Wolves, if they got up pretty early here, I think we can safely say to ourselves, it's not like...
Na karo, Awais Khan.
This is a big chance.
Mat likho, bar.
You have to utilize these opportunities here. You're not giving them very often. And if you can't even capitalize on something like this, it's just a terrible, terrible sign. I mean, yeah, we've seen some miracles happen in the past, but with how consistent this lobby is already kind of showing, because
इंसान के बच्चे बनो और गेम देखो नहीं देख रहे जाओ किधर और.
I was looking at some of these team names and I was like, this is a problem, right? We got our previous champions here, right? We've got our PMGC champions here. We have our PMMI champions here, right? It's like, and then it's like Champ City. You got Tianba, who almost won PMMI, and so many other great names as well. So yeah, you just can't afford to slip here at this stage. And that Wolves play in the group stage of accidentally hitting that rock.
Yeah, that upset you, dude.
That broke my heart.
Yeah.
I mean, thank goodness Baton hit the most ridiculous, like, head pan shot out of a vehicle I have ever seen to kind of
minus 1,000 Aura and then plus 1,001.
Literally, like it's evened out. But if they don't make it to finals
negative
here,
on that one.
it's going right back down, dude. Oh.
Yeah, I think for definitely, I will say honestly, Elementrix has been impressing me. There's been some good moments. If Wolves take anything away from this event, it's definitely team cohesion.
Sure.
I think individually all these players are like fairly decent.
मैं कहता हूँ Wolves लेके जाएगी, check करो game खाली.
We don't see them work together like massively well. I still think they should be very, very proud to be here and getting through to survival stage though, because this is a really tough tournament. I mean, you just highlighted the amount of champions we have in survival stage. Very cool, by the way. But yeah, I do think because the circles were so insane over towards groups, yeah, some teams were able to get in that maybe wouldn't have been able to before, but you could look back on the circles and I think there was a lot of deserved wins, honestly.
Oh, sure.
I think it was just hard. It was a very, very competitive current lobby at the moment. This is a very fun survival stage. This doesn't feel like we're really just culling the necessary amount of teams. It's like we're going to say goodbye to some real heavy hitters here. Some teams that, honestly, I would have liked to have seen through to the finals. We still got one more day left, though. Okay.
Yeah, one more day is definitely a good opportunity for these teams to get it done. And it's so crazy, right? And I think the big reason on top of it why we see so many monster squads in this lobby is because in the group stage, good games were okay. You know, we saw just something special that just made things so wild. I mean, Team Vitality on day one.
Yo,
dude, Vitality was just absolutely insane. I remember talking to like all these different coaches and players and be like, hey, what do you guys think about Vitality's day one performance? And the answer was always, what the? And then you just fill in the blank, you know?
Yeah, bro. 100%.
It was just shock and awe. I don't know what to even say to it. You really can't say much.
No, you can't. Well, honestly, it was one of those things where there isn't much to say. It's like it is shock and awe. That's essentially what it is. I think there's not much to be said in terms of like what they did wrong or what they did right, because it's just a case of you guys played out your minds. When we see you winning, we're just happy for you. We're just happy for you. Yeah, it sucks that we're going to struggle to make our way in now, but goodness me, you guys definitely deserved it. It made Group B very, very difficult for some other teams. We had such a tight, knit top 5 when it came down to it. A lot of teams like sitting on that 90-point border up towards, I think, 3rd place, because I believe it was only really Godlike who were able to break out of that 3-digit boundary, get up there. But yeah, everyone else was struggling. It was right down to that last game, which did shift up the rankings massively and led to E-Arena being here now.
That's like probably what frustrates me the most, dude. Like, I couldn't believe it. Like
सारे जोन के अंदर है, सारे जोन के अंदर है. खाली अल्फा
and just
I mean,
make it to the finals.
Alpha 7 outlaw zone
there because I would have gone absolutely crazy. But oh, here we go. It's Tiamba once again catching out AlUla quick. Ooh, Yasser getting punished as well. Tiamba not messing around here on rotation. Also the feed we see 721GS getting to it with the Wolves. That's bringing out back and forth. Looks like one of the Wolves players does get thirsted, so they're going to be stuck with 3. Man, there's a crazy fight going on here because now we see 721 getting in with RRQ. There's a battle going on all back and forth.
Whoa! Well, it totally makes sense. Being the circle come down towards the south side, there's a lot of fielded over towards the northwest and down towards the south. There's some very key compounds, some very key areas of the map you want to take control of around these trees. And we already know from watching groups, these players and these teams are not afraid to get stuck in 4 strong areas of the map. And it does cut out a lot of players quite quickly. 721GS, they went down. They struggled off the back of it. Right now, Ulf is trying to rotate on through. Geeke is finding shots over towards Tiamba. They do lose 1 player because of that. But yeah, everyone wants a strong spot inside the circle. It's just amused me that Tiamba's taking a lot of damage. They're currently playing around Pachinki. I don't think they expected players to be up towards Church right now, taking shots off of this one. But fair enough to Geeke. It's a good, well-laid trap.
Yeah, they're going to hold this spot for as long as they possibly can. Oh, Marnet.
Whoa.
He's going to go ahead and get back to safety. Fight timing is what it's all about here at this stage, especially in you kind of get into one of these engagements just a little too early on rotation. Boom, you're getting 3rd partied, 4th partied by all these teams that are just desperately hunting eliminations. So sometimes it is a little bit better to try to avoid those fights unless you know for sure we could finish it out like really, really quick. But it just goes to show you.
नहीं आज इंडिया की नहीं इंडिया की फाइनल खेलेगी.
Team C finally a like normalish zone, right? It's like
well, I want the best spot.
Yeah,
I want the best spot right now.
Best spot.
Same here. Even I want the best spot. I want to see a best spot.
Play these circles. They're not.
I want to see a
like split-second decisions. These teams have studied for this type of thing. But yeah, heading down towards the south side, it does feel a bit rough. For Alpha 7, they're currently trying to play off the back of the high ground that's out towards the eastern side of Quarry. But they have since left. Obscure still left behind, quite far away. But we will get our next circle coming through soon. Where does it head up here, Jukes?
Oh, I think we just go dead center. Oh, okay, we go a little bit up on the northern side. Okay, we got a Pachinki field finish. Right to the right side of Chopsticks from Gatka. You can already see some teams pushing in immediately. You got Alpha 7 there on that left edge. Most likely going to wrap all the way to that north side towards Ruins. But man, that Ruins position, not really the best.
AlUla Saudi
decides to
team
back on south. You know, when I see EWC, you know what it reminds me of, Blank?
What?
It reminds me of like those days when you were doing your homework, preparing for a test.
Yeah.
And then all of a sudden the test happens and it's like nothing you studied for.
Yeah, they switched out the papers. Yeah, that's the worst.
You're like,
that is the worst.
I spent hours studying these certain maps, these little areas, and then all of a sudden the zones are just going crazy here. You know, now we're starting to get back to a little bit of the core material. The zone is bouncing back and forth a little bit, you know, but finally it's something that seems familiar here. That's why we're seeing so many teams so quick on the rotate.
Yeah, these were in the footnotes.
Yeah.
We had these. I was able to revise. I'm good to go.
Jandeman Bakana, Jandeman Baka.
Trying to avoid Pachinki, which is making a little bit of a vacuum on that northeastern side. Just because no one really wants to send towards Pachinki too early on. You get trapped out there. Very bad time trying to leave. You could play the rooftops potentially and have a little bit of presence, but I think most squads are realizing that this is not the play to go for. KRX down towards the south side. Not a terrible spot. They're out on the cusp of the fields. This is a decent area to work with. It does sit underneath the high ground that a lot of teams aren't really heading over towards just yet. They'd rather try and locate a little bit of a safer position to play. You don't want to be in the open because teams might just end up starting to crash you at that point in time. GOAT team also will find a little bit of a tricky rotation from that south side because they need to move up full through the fields. The biggest thing I'm most interested in right now is this.
Bro, walaikum salam, walaikum salam. आप spam क्यों कर रहे हो मेरी जान? Spam क्यों कर रहे हो?
Yeah, that's a crazy split, to be honest.
Editor 9, आप spam क्यों कर रहे हो? सलाम अल्लाह का कलाम एक दफा सलाम दिया जाता है. आप बार-बार सलाम कर रहे हो.
Finally seeing a little bit more traditional kind of circle rotations from Alpha 7. Once they saw that northern shift, they hugged that circle all the way up to the top. So they're going to be taking the blues up here, as we can see. And
yeah.
Very, very OG from them. But man, what's going on with them in their end games right now? They've just been
Habibi, thank you, brother.
They can get into some decent fights, but even in the last game or this game before, we saw, you know, Carrillo, Revel driving, hitting these crazy shots out of the car. I feel like if they just kind of go back to the basics, you'll see them really perform to their maximum level.
It sort of used to feel like teams would avoid Alpha 7. Like, that's a team you didn't really want to bump into. And I think for especially Miramar, a lot of times they kind of suffocated teams out. We do get a northern shift on this one, which means that Alpha 7's not in a terrible spot. They do control the majority of that northern side. They will regroup on this one, trying to hold that team, try to swing around. But yeah, I don't think we've seen much times in the past, like Revo and Carrillo just dry pushing, no smokes, no nothing, over towards a location. Felt like a bit of a desperation move, so we'll wait and see. Again, as we know, they are trying to work some new tactics in right now to make it work.
That's just pretty wild to me. I mean, I think right now you're in the survival stage. Do with what you know. You know what I'm saying? Maybe if you're ahead by 100 points, then you can go and try whatever the heck you want. But right now, it's just making sure you make it into that top 6. With this circle, though, the crowd is starting to get hyped because they know that this is a beautiful zone for them. And meanwhile, we got some teams that are going to have to be pushing from the south side. You got GOAT trying to find their way in. You got FURIA, Nongshim Red Force as well, looking for a spot in this next circle. And you can already start seeing some players get knocked here. Applause. And that actually is going to be AlUla eliminated. So that is already 3 teams out of here pretty early.
Alpha 7 do find shots over towards Yangon Galacticos. Again, good setup from them. They were trying to cut off a eastern rotate over towards the position. I think for them right now, they understand that they were likely one of the teams that only on that northern side. Not a lot of other teams had to make that approach. They didn't have much choice in the matter. So for them, okay, there's going to be some teams probably rotating out from Pachinki here, or at least trying to wrap around on that eastern edge. We sort of know that a team will be holding the compound over towards our southwest side, which is currently RRQ, and this engagement right here.
Whoa! RQ versus God!
Whoa! Right now, though, Foosman does walk around the corner. Killer Joe also with the JS9 do some good work. Go is just cleaning RRQ out. Now, this is the man to be worried about, though. It is Lepar. He's on his own. Might go terribly. We'll see what he's got.
Chops up the vehicle! It's the shot. No way he jumped through that window and makes it happen. And now you got 4 from GOAT. Gonna go ahead and get this res.
What's up?
A crazy there from the park. And now here comes E-Arena. Quick trying to soak up some of these eliminations. Perfect timing as well. GOAT is hurt. They are not looking too hot here. Attorney K up close and personal, looking to catch one of these knocks. Oh, they're instantly thirsty. They're getting it done. E-Arena making it happen against GOAT. Perfectly timed, and that is GOAT pretty much done and dusted here.
Great read from E-Arena, honestly, moving in over towards this one. This is a team that knows they need points right now. They have to go out. Good as well around the corner. Tries to make this as easy as possible and get the full cleanup on this. There's nobody nearby. Now, for E-Arena, you do have to think clearly for a second here. They just cleared out 2 teams to the western side. They have so much space to work with. Really good third party off the back of that one. So many teams over towards the eastern side. We had a very eastern playing path to start this off. So they just have a lovely amount of room at the moment. This is beautiful stuff for them.
Yeah, so that west side is clear for E-Arena. They're looking to get some of their aura back after losing it in the group stage. Wolves, though, there we go, starting to make some noise. Next zone does pop on up. This is the blessing that Alpha 7 have been waiting for. Honestly, this is no excuse at this point. A7 need to hunt down a double-digit elimination win here. Let's see if that's something that they can close down. On the side of Pachinki, we got FURIA, though. AlUla up close and personal with AG.AL. And the side of Wolves. This is outside the circle. They need to finish this fight fast. Beautiful Molotov. And now AG.AL forced to spread thin. But when is FURIA going to make this push? They are hurt really bad, and they got to get it done quickly.
Great scatter, though, coming through from XZZ as well as Flower H. Both went either side on the back of that one, ensured they wouldn't immediately get taken down by a secondary grenade. And they're just going to back this off. They don't want to spend any more time here. They see that Wolves are coming in from the western side. Not bothering to deal with FURIA just yet. I mean, AG.AL is like, why are you chasing us?
Oh, wow.
Go fight that team.
Adios. See ya. We don't want none of this right now. We'll fight you guys later once we get into this circle. So they set up a nice little car wall here.
غلط بالكل غلط
played for them. Honestly, that was the right play. They just realized that we want to extend our life in this game. This is not the place to do it. So now FURIA are on the hunt. Wolves are forced to move on. Whoa. Waiting for them, though. Oh, this is a really rough push from the Wolves. There's really nowhere to go here. And they are barely making it out alive for now.
For the Wolves, it's a mad send, right? I mean, there was definitely an opportunity there to try and just take the fight to FURIA in the first place, clear out that south side, and then play it slow in from the southern edge. That's even
free kills, my friend! Free kills!
I can see they're trying to reach for something. For Alpha 7, though, they have a wonderful spot on the map right now. So much space. The entirety of the northern side. They control half the circle here. They have to do something big with this. Last game, they were given a ton amount of space on Erangel. Didn't bother trying to clear the south side. They're very hesitant in their approach there. Again, they seem to be only looking over towards the east. I would have loved to see a western rollout here from one of their players. Take and what they're working with going into the future. As long as they have information, they should be good, because info at this point is king.
Yes, it is. And Carrillo's going to go ahead and
free kills, my friend, free kills.
That man has worn plenty of crowns so far.
Buy one, get one free.
A7 over there by that tractor. So A7 completely spreading their wings. Right? They're not just hanging back on the north side. They are getting up close and personal, looking to soak up some of these eliminations. FURIA on the drive. Full squad in the vehicle, moving up little by little. KRX is badly hurt here, and Chief could a lot of util, but Eagle with the very, very slim peaks, punishing FURIA.
Know the position they're in. They want to
FURIA!
cause some casualties right now. AG.AL, big task ahead of them over towards KRX. Looks like a fairly decently placed grenade. Goes long. Ooh, the damage it did there over towards Hoxie. That's rough. Getting another knock there would have been very useful.
Wallah, azab kar diya look at zindagi, azab kar diya.
Extremely long shot here.
Wallah, look at zindagi, azab kar diya.
Have this northern side. They should absolutely just win this game. It's like one of the freest games I've seen.
Alpha 7 le jayegi, Alpha 7 le jayegi.
It's annoying because, right, you give Alpha 7 a game like this, you know they should win. And you know they probably will win as well, Jude.
They have to win. It's not even just they will, right? They have to win this. If they lose this, this is going to be just devastating for everybody that believes in this team. We saw a picture of the crowd right there. They're dancing already. They're jumping. They're already doing the victory lap because they know this one is in the bag. So this is A7's game to lose. Let's see how it all ends up. So look over here towards Slaughterhouse.
Tamba, arena.
Holding it down.
Alpha 7.
With 4 eliminations.
Let's go, my friend.
Little trap laid over towards Church. Able to quickly get some shots off. Alpha 7 though, continuing to try and wrap round. They're probably waiting for the circle to pull in from that northern edge. They don't want anyone wrapping on their north side. They rather
क्या बोलते हो? Chicken कौन करेगा रे बाबा? Chicken कौन करेगा?
So much easier than trying to deal with snakes in the grass in the late game.
All out A7 has to do is just play old school PUBG Mobile.
Pretty much,
literally,
yeah.
just
very
old school, tried and true. Nothing needed to be done here special. No crazy drives, trying to shoot people out the vehicle. No kind of wild little highlight reel plays. Just work together as a team. That's where Alpha 7 has been so strong. They've been a squad to where, like, if you knock a player, it's impossible angrier. And we haven't seen that so much in a while, actually. So let's see if they can get to form here. They're playing it very close together.
Thank you.
Going up a little bit here, trying to find some angles on the Morbin on the tractor.
Oh my yes,
Revo. Hits the deck immediately.
Moments underneath. We'll take a volley of fire their way. Alpha 7 at 8 eliminations in this game. This should get them back into the running quite quickly.
Starting to look over at the util right now. Revo, I think it's
Bhaijan, इनको chicken चाहिए, chicken.
Enough here to finish this game.
इनको चाहिए chicken.
It's a dream game for Ace. It's honestly, this is a dream game for anybody in their position, and they're doing very solid here. We'll see where the next circle pops. But right now, everybody just kind of waiting. This is still only Zone 6, but with so much open range, that's why we have so many teams eliminated already.
Hey, for Tamba though, a fairly decent game. I mean, they're in another top 5 scenario.
I think that's a lock already, honestly.
4 elims. I mean, we're waiting for it. We're waiting for it. 53 points at the moment. I give him another 20 on today, and then we can lock them in. But yeah, it would take some miracles tomorrow, or at least some devastating maneuvers to go down. Back towards a player on that north side. Alpha 7 will get them back up again. Again, this next circle is pretty much all about Alpha 7 just holding on this north side, not allowing the wraps come through, because you're waiting for Geeky as well as Yangon Galacticos to be pulled off these compounds towards the southeast.
Tamba. The fact that A7 got knocked right there. Because I can already see they were getting a little antsy and starting to push up a little bit too much.
Yeah.
And that knock was perfect timing because it wasn't too devastating for them. They were able to get the res. It was very inconsequential. But the next zone does center on up a little bit to the south here. So A7 are going to have to push up little by little. But this zone is terrible because it's pretty much all open field here. Everybody's going to be having to hug the edge, set up some car walls. Look at Tianba. They're still out of the zone. So they have to push up little by little. They have this hillside to work with. This is perfect for them because they can just sit here, wait for all the other fights to happen, and then get into the mix a little bit later on.
Yeah, pretty cautious at the moment. It's Tiamba, even dropping the M79 down there, getting some smokes up. Revo's going to try and hold up teams as they leave these buildings. I don't mind this play. I think that Alpha 7 is currently just trying to lock down E-Arena's approach, which I think is smart. And Revo, definitely the guy you want on the swivel, right? He is locked in when it comes to the sprays.
Just needs to make sure he hits casualties rather than full commits there. Just wants to slow GK down into the future.
Romeo अकेला रह गया.
Because he has such a high PUBG Mobile IQ, and he knows the most important thing right now is just me not getting knocked.
Yeah.
I just got to stay here, apply some pressure, ensure that I do not get taken out. Because if Rebel gets knocked here, the chances of him getting thirsted and Alpha 7, really being at a disadvantage is massive.
Well, when you leave out those buildings as well, where Revo's currently playing is usually the next stop-off point, right? Around that rocky outcrops, that's a lovely area to work with. He'll probably need to pass that information back in the near future. But yeah, Alpha 7, they just got to keep tabs on basically 3 teams, Yangon Galacticos, as well as GK, as well as E-Arena. They spotted where E-Arena was playing from way, way earlier. Now Tiamba's even getting involved.
Kusao getting a little antsy here with that vehicle. He's got to be careful not to get knocked. As the next zone is starting to close. We got 20 seconds left on the clock. I wonder how much util E-Arena have already, because they have been blowing through a ton of ammunition from this angle. QZZ forced to hit the laydown. He's going to be throwing some smokes, pushing up little by little by little. Oh, Tourniquet, he's got a whole bunch of ammunition. So E-Arena are set up for this one.
He's got a bag, but if Tourniquet goes down first, I mean, that's a lot of util just out the window. QZZ not opting to send these nades close. I mean, I like this from Tourniquet, dude. Kind of a wild maneuver. QZZ taking a lot of a bomb in the moment. More nades flowing over the top. Another nade in the back lines over towards Schweppes.
Ooh, कितने nade आ रहे?
Refrag. QZZ has to know we've got to start placing these nades a little bit closer.
Those vehicles really protecting the side arena. That would hurt.
Whoa!
It's going to be Schweppes done and dusted. Mormon done. Tourniquet is the one. Up close and personal. 1v1 situation with QZZ. QZZ running in the open, shimmying back and forth, trying to find the angles. Tourniquet with the laydown finally stands up here. And short hit hurt him. Big
What a
That's it down.
I mean, come on, man. Still got the nade. Jump. Pull out a shotgun, something. Make the sprays. Quick peeks around the side. QZZ.
Whoa.
Play from him there.
Ooh, GK, Baba, GK.
And now Alpha 7, they have full control.
Whoa.
And just
What's up, GK? क्या game कर रही है?
To win this game, Kevin moving up with that almost blown up vehicle here. They know that they are bleeding. Obscure up, trying to make a play all by his lonesome self. The Revo goes.
Revo go.
DK said,
it's done.
Yeah, see you later, Alpha 7. This is our game.
DK Saudi Arabia क्या team है?
Like, Alpha 7 takes so long to even do anything in that situation. They could have helped along that fight with E-Arena a lot sooner.
GG
almost. I mean, for
Zabardast,
GG played that game pretty crazily, honestly, towards that end game. But I respected the aggression.
What happened? I mean, how do you lose that? Yeah, look at that. Carrillo scratching his head. He's like, did we just lose that game? It was in the bag.
Shara, thank you.
It was in the bag. It was handed on a silver platter. There's no excuses, guys. Like, I mean, come on. These are our
nice
champions. At a certain point, we got to hold these guys accountable. You cannot lose that game if you're A7.
I mean, for Tiamba there, it's an awkward one, right? I think they assume most of the players are further behind the tree line. They get the first couple of knocks here. It's a bit awkward. I think if they started throwing some nades a little bit closer, might have been a different story. But yeah, for Alpha 7, the game just kind of fell apart almost instantaneously. Rough stuff for them.
Say welcome salam.
They play it how they should do up until that final moment. Again, I think right now at PMWC and EWC, the aggression is at an all-time high. You can't afford to sit back.
Yeah, I know this team, bro.
I mean, they needed to get angry, but instead they're driving around in vehicles, looking for intel, getting knocked. I mean, this is just so wild to see.
Go. I'm nading.
I don't have car.
I'm nading them.
I will go there. Go, guys, go close.
Oh, there are locks here.
Go close. One behind us. Nice, boys.
Nice, my friend, nice.
Very nice indeed. And you know what? We got to give the props to GK though, right? I mean, they get a couple of clutch knocks. They close it down in a beautiful fashion. They don't hesitate at all. And that's what you need to do, right? I mean, you're at the disadvantage positionally, but if you do end up getting one of those knocks, you got to finish. And GK said, you know what? We know how to get it done.
I think we saw sort of the issue there right at the end, where Alpha 7, you got Creo as well as Revo, like, they're pulling off, I think it was Guiza actually, they're pulling off from the angle at that point in time. But the difference between them and GK there is GK's taking control of the game, whereas realistically Alpha 7 sort of let the game control them all the way until those final moments. So by the time they were trying to reassess and replay against GK, they were already living on massive high, flew around the side and just hit some nasty shots. I mean, for Easy for Bad Boy is an incredible player, an incredible talent on that team, deserves all the love he gets, honestly, but there's no one in survival stage right now, there's no one in PMWC, EWC that can't hit disgusting shots like that.
Yeah, that's for sure. You know, I'm being a little hard on them because
they go to second place.
They got a second place, which is great. It's just it would be devastating if they're the 7th place team by just a few points. And we've seen it happen so many times.
No, I agree.
So that's why it's like if you have that opportunity in the bag and you don't close it, my eyebrows go up quite a bit. You know,
Yes, sir.
this is
Welcome.
not good. So we'll see what
Thank
happens.
you.
We'll see how things bounce back for these teams. But man, one team that's been doing really, really well here is FURIA.
Yeah, Fury's done insanely well at the moment. I genuinely have really respected the way that Fury's been playing. It feels very, very different to what we saw in the groups. Let's say that. But I think we'll let Kalaris ask most of the questions in just a little bit once he's ready. We're getting teased right now in an interview for Furia shortly. But yeah, overall, been playing very, very good. Excited to listen in with them when we can. But yeah, Tiamba in the top 5. I think they got fairly far into it. I think it was maybe a top 4 that they got there. They're just churning out points still churning out those points. Anyway, let's head down to the stage with Kalaris to hear a little bit more from Furia.
Thank you, boys. Hogging all the stage for yourself. No, we've got Furia. Very important to talk to, as you say, Blank, here for all of this. So,
Yeah,
let's talk about the day
Brazil
so far as a
team,
whole here for survival stage. A lot of people expecting good things from Furia. What's your perspective on how the games have gone so far?
Como é que vocês estão se sentindo, né? No primeiro dia do Survival Stage, vocês estão se sentindo sobre o dia de hoje?
A gente está muito tranquilo e viemos para amassar hoje.
We are very relaxed and we came just to demolish them.
Okay, and let's ask about the Erangel then. When you were rotating along the beach below Primorsk, eventually you came back and dealt with Nongshim Red Force for some more eliminations, and then continued to skirt around the edges of the map to eventually try and get the win, but it didn't quite work out. Did you think there was any difference that could have happened in that game, or you could have got the win? What are your thoughts?
Sobre a queda de Erangel ali, a rotação que vocês fizeram ali, passando por Primorsk, depois voltando para pegar Nongshim. Esse jogo foi bem difícil. O que vocês acham que faltou um pouco, né, para a vitória de vocês nesse jogo em específico?
A Cal foi travar as costas e nós brigamos com a NS e depois para ter uma progressão para frente limpa, nós
Olá, senhorita!
Acho que dificultou isso a play.
So the call out was just like to hold our backline. So Nongshim arrived and we got them. But when we managed to like lose the first player, we kind of misplayed a little bit. That's why it kind of ended our
run, yeah, as a whole. All right, thank you very much, Chief, for joining us here. As now we head on over to Barney, who's ready with Nongshim Red Force.
Thank you so much, Kalaris. Yes, I've got Quizzy here from Nongshim Red Force. We're going to chat a little bit about what's been going on so far. But first and foremost, let's talk about coming off the back of the group stage, only just missing out into the direct finals spot. So coming into the survival stage, what elements were you guys focusing on in order to just make sure that you could most definitely come out of the survival stage and into the finals?
이제 엑시 선수 일단 첫 번째 질문은 좀 몇 점 차이로 아쉽게 이제 파이널 직행을 좀 놓치셨는데 이번 서바이벌 스테이지에 와서는 좀 어떤 거를 중점으로 좀 개선을 하려고 노력하셨는지 궁금합니다.
저희가 사실 뭐 연초부터 WC 직전까지 연습했던 게 결국 교전으로 자리를 뺏어내거나 대회전을 통해서 교전으로 자리를 뺏어내는 걸 연습했었는데 저희가 그룹 스테이지에서는 교전보다는 생존하려는 게임을 하지 않았나 생각을 했었고 그 그게 피드백이 돼서 이제 그룹 이거 서바이벌 스테이지에서는 교전 중심적으로 풀어 나가려고 하고 있습니다.
Well, from the start of the year, I think what we have prepared for WC coming here, it was just to take their spots from the gunfights, or we have.
क्या हुई? क्या हुआ?